Greetings and salutations and welcome to Soo Eagles Hockey online at Hockey TV and on the radio, ESPN 1400. As the man said, my name is Scott Nason as we are broadcasting live on this Friday night from venerable Polar Stadium, awaiting the start of this NOJHL West Division contest between the visiting Rayside Balfour Canadians and the hometown Soo Eagles. Our broadcast engineer back in the ESPN 1400 studios tonight is Sam Cox. Our cameraman here at Polar Stadium is Rob Horn, and joining us on the Color Me Larry Pozzebon joining us here. Poz, always good to see you on a Friday night at Polar Stadium, and welcome.
Well, thank you. Always happy to be here. I love this building. I like the Eagles. And I admire you.
Wow, admire. I will flatter.
Well, I didn't want to come and say love or like. You know that, eh?
Admire is a very good adjective, Larry, and I appreciate it, as I do appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. Larry, the Soo Eagles in the midst of their homestand, a 9-game homestand, which started back in late December. Right now, the Eagles, after 5 games on the homestand, are 3-2. The last game they played here, a 3-1 loss to the Timmins Rock, taking on the Rayside Balfour Canadians, the team that is in second place in the West Division. The Eagles have played the Canadians 7 times. They've won 3 of them. The last 3, I might add. Every game has been within 1 goal. Before we look at some of the goings-on in the league and new players and such, just set the stage for us tonight, Larry. Always Rayside and the Eagles, usually a close game, usually low scoring. What do you expect tonight?
Well, I guess I expect another maybe one team low scoring, because Rayside Canadians have improved their team some more. Eagles have also, but Rayside back bought their top goaltender out of the Quebec Major League, Dave Bowen.
Yeah, he's back.
He's back.
We thought we got rid of him.
Not
to be.
The 2020 times are changing, and they are throughout all the league here. We'll get into that later, but tonight here, Bowen is a big instrument that keeps the Canadians ahead of the Eagles. The last 3 games the Eagles won against them, Bowen was gone. So now he's back. He took the first, 4? Yeah,
yes.
First 4
Yeah.
now. This is number 8 here.
The Eagles enter tonight, Larry, in 4th place in the West Division with a record of 21-16-1-2. 45 points. They're 2 points behind the Sioux Thunderbirds, who have 47 points. The Thunderbirds at Elliott Lake tonight. Rayside Balfour, they're in 2nd place in the West, 2 points behind Blind River. They have 54 points. The Soo Eagles 9 points behind Rayside. Rayside with a record of 25-10-3-1. And, you look at the Thunderbirds, Larry, they have 1 game this weekend at Elliott Lake, but they played on Wednesday against Espanola, and the Thunderbirds had played 3 straight games against Espanola, going 1-2, and the 1-1 was in overtime. So, we were talking before the broadcast about the Eagles' schedule, and it is favorable in many ways. They have a lot of games at home. They have Elliott Lake 5 times and Espanola 3. But you can't just say that those are going to be wins. Just at the Thunderbirds, they lost to them at home on Wednesday.
Yeah, you're right. And both teams have made some improvements. There's a lot of player shuffling going around in this league right now. Like I say, everybody's making a run for the playoffs right now, and you can tell by some of the players that have been brought back.
We're going to take our first break here on the pregame show, Larry. We come back. You mentioned some transactions that happened over the last 24, 48 hours. We're going to get to those. We'll look at the starting lineups and more. That's coming up next. You are watching Soo Eagles Hockey on Hockey TV, and you're listening on ESPN 1400. Scott Nason along with Larry Pozzebon back at Polar Stadium here for our pregame shows. We're about 8 minutes or so away from the start of this West Division clash between the NOJHL's West Division 2nd place team, the Rayside Balfour Canadians, and the 4th place team, the Soo Eagles. Well, Larry, it was trade deadline day today, and, you have a list of some of the transactions that were made. We mentioned David Bowen. He's back in net for the Rayside Balfour Canadians. And just give us some of the other news and notes from around the league as far as some of the players that are changing teams.
Teams are, like I said, teams are making a run for the playoffs. Rayside brought back David Bowen, the top goaltender. They also brought a defenseman, Greg Arnberg, who's playing tonight also. And they brought in 2 other guys. They got one guy, Christian Goudreau from French River, and they got Scott Bagby from, the MHL. That's Manitoba Hockey League. Now, Thunderbirds, they seem to be going the other way. Thunderbirds traded Nick Smith to Leamington in Ontario Hockey League.
That guy's been there forever, it seems like, doesn't it?
And
well, he was.
They want him. They want a goal scorer because that Leamington team's running for a playoff. They also traded away in December that Matthew Bazarin. He went to the OHL. Now they picked up Jacob Bucha from Kirkland Lake Gold Miners. They got Jordan Bromey from the Pacific Junior Hockey League. They got Kevin Para Vaughn from the Pacific Coast Hockey, Pacific Junior Hockey League. So I don't know if they're settling for third, not fourth, because you got to play that fifth place team.
Yeah.
So they made a bunch of trades there, and players that let go. I'm surprised, but again, we're not exposed to what goes on in their dressing room.
They tell us nothing, basically.
You're right. Most teams do the same thing. No, Blind River, they picked up Kyle Quinn back in November, but they also added in first part of December they added Adam Droulet, a defenseman. Espanola.
Oh, there's more.
Espanola and Elliott Lake. Well, I mean, Elliott Lake picked up Garson Poutine. Poutine. And Jaden Parnell, they got him from Elliott Lake. The Elliott Lake turns around, they get Noah Bradburn. Then they get Logan Callahan from Blind River. And they pick up Robert Malukzi from Espanola and Jacob Fahey from Espanola. So it looks like they're trading off those teams. The fifth and place teams are trading off players. So, and it shows it must be working because Espanola took the Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
And, we'll see what Elliott Lake... Oh, and the latest one that you gave to me, that was...
we got him
Eagles,
right here, Larry.
Eagles,
Yeah, the Soo Eagles just yesterday announcing acquiring Eric Vanderhoff, forward from the Elliott Lake Wildcats. He is in the lineup tonight wearing number 16, former number 16, Tyler Kiley Ram. He transferred over to the Thief Falls Norskies of the SIJHL. And a few other moves today, Larry. Blind River acquires Jacob Hagan, a defenseman from Hearst. They also acquire Noah Mins from the Collingwood Colts of the OJHL and A.J. Campbell for the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners, a forward. So it looks like Blind River really starting to load up, making a run. They're first place. We beat them, or they should say the Eagles beat them last weekend, and they're definitely going to be one to reckon with in this West Division.
Well, yeah, everybody, it's close, and everybody wants it now, and they've been there before. So this makes good hockey now, better than what we were having before. At least I appreciate or look forward to that, and let's see if it really is going to materialize, which it should.
Looking at the lineups tonight, scratches, first of all, for the Rayside Balfour Canadians. Not in tonight's lineup include number 18, Zachary Hauserman. He's serving the third of a 4-game suspension. Number 20, Jimmy Blanchard. Number 24, Mateo Docas Dupuis. Pair of number 27s, Bradley Smith and Skylar St. Pierre. Number 77, Zachary Giroux. And goaltender number 99, Jake Marot. For the Soo Eagles, players not in the lineup include number 4, Tucker Harris, number 8, Malik Ali, number 10, George Orfanos, number 14, Kyle Portlock, number 17, Chase Tallaire, number 25, Colby Guidebeck, and number 26, Jack Swan. Also not in the bench area tonight, Coach Doug Leprod, serving a 1-game suspension. Starting in net for the Rayside Balfour Canadians, number 34, David Bowen. And starting in net for the Soo Eagles, number 29, Shane Brancato. And for those that are watching at home, first of all, thank you for joining us on Hockey TV. And we always like to offer a fan-friendly broadcast. And one of the ways you can do so is by going to Twitter. Yes, we are back on Twitter despite my New Year's resolution. I wasn't on it all week, Larry. I'm just using it for the Soo Eagles broadcast. It's a new Twitter handle for those that are used to the old one. We're out with the old, in with the new in 2020. Just go to Scott Nason 3. That's SCOTTNASON 3.
The number 3.
The number 3, thank you. And tweet us, let us know what you think about the broadcast. I want to say hello to Tom Bice, who came up earlier along with Daniel Clark. And let's go to Bob St. Peter for the starting lineups, and then we'll go to break and have the start of tonight's NOJHL contest between the Soo Eagles and Rayside Balfour Canadians on ESPN 1400 and Hockey TV.
Canadians with the starting lineup for the Canadians. In goal, number 34, David Bowen. On defense, number 6, Avery Chisholm. On defense, number 8, Joel Amangion. On forward, number 14, Brady Matalis. At forward, number 15, Mitchell Martin. At forward, number 22, Oliver Smith. The head coach for the Canadians, Dan Como, and the assistant coaches is Perry Como, and the trainer is Jeanette Trottier. And now, your starting lineup for your Soo Eagles. In goal, number 29, Shane Brancato. And on defense, number 2, Cameron Parrott. And on defense, number 19, Bryce French. At forward, number 16, Eric Vanderhoff. At forward, number 21, Dominic Scarella. At forward, number 24, Jake Lamberty. The head coach for your Eagles, Doug Laprade. The assistant coaches and general manager, Bruno Blaganolo. And assistant coach, J.T. Henke.
We're going to go to our final break here in the pregame show. We come back, we'll have the start of this Western Division contest between the Rayside Balfour Canadians and the Soo Eagles. You're watching Soo Eagles hockey on Hockey TV, and you're listening on ESPN 1400. Back at Puller Stadium, we're set to go here for period number 1 between the Soo Eagles and the Rayside Balfour Canadians. This is the 8th and final meeting during the regular season. The Canadians leading the season series 4-3. The Eagles have won the last 3 games. Eagles in their white jerseys with the black and gold trim. Rayside in their red, white, and blue jerseys. Eagles will be going left to right as seen on your radio dial and on your video monitor. We're underway here at Puller Stadium. Canadians with the puck. They'll clear it to center ice and down the ice.
No icing.
No icing on the play. Picked up by French. Now French over the far board. Scarella. Now he loses the puck. Canadians with it. They'll move it to the near side. Now the Eagles get it out. Lamberty. They'll clear that one to center ice. Mongeon with it. He'll get it up to Martin just out of his reach. Parrott gets it up to Scarella, who will backhand it in. Eagles get a couple fresh bodies out there. Now puck back at center ice. Dresch off the bench. He'll fire it back in. Again, starting netminders for Rayside. He's back. David Bowen in net for the Rayside Balfour Canadians. And Shane Brancato, he's back in net for the Soo Eagles. Caleb Wood the puck in his own zone for the Eagles. Move it over to the far boards. Belanger tries to put it in front. Now an interception. Belanger in the slot. A shot. That one goes wide. Bouncing puck at the doorstep. Picked up by Belanger. Back to Snow. Now his shot. That deflects and goes over to the far boards. Brandinger will put it behind the net to Hayden Clark. Saw Hayden's dad, Daniel Clark, up here earlier today, just before the game. Now Brandinger moves into the zone. Bowen will clear it to center. Wood will fire it back in. Canadians pick up the puck in their own zone. Another Clark, number 3, Christopher Clark for the Canadians. Moves it out of his zone. Intercepted there by McLaughlin. Now Smoody. Up to Bumbaco, intercepted by Snow at center ice. Now DeGrazia for the Canadians. Nice move across the blue line. He'll miss the shot as that one poke checked away by Boulware. DeGrazia, he'll keep it. Move it back behind the Eagles' net. Now Smoody for the Eagles over at the far boards. Smoody up to Bumbaco. Now Bumbaco at center ice. Loses the puck. Vachon across the blue line. Brown has it. Tries to get it to Biondi. Brown now had that picked away. Now Bertrand shot, and Brancato will make the save. We played 2 minutes of this first period at no score.
First shot on goal for Rayside. And another thing I wanted to say that I'm surprised Rayside only dressed 18 players tonight. You know, Eagles dressed their 20.
Now face-off won by the Eagles. Dollywall at center ice. He'll fire the puck back into the Canadian zone. Bowen plays over the far boards. Now Parrott puts it behind the net. Picked up by 27 for Rayside, Larry. I didn't have a 27 on their roster.
Arnberg.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's Arnberg. Excuse me. I had him as 22. He's 27. Thank you. Now Dollywall shot. That goes wide. Over to Bice. Dollywall in the far corner. Dax over there as well. Dax will pick up the puck behind the net. Still has it. Now Dax will backhand it behind the net. Goes over to the far corner. Martin picks it up for the Canadians. Now taken away by Dax again. Bertrand has it for the Canadians behind his own net. Now slides it to center ice. Taken away by French. He'll fire it in. Bowen behind his net. Plays over to Mongeon. Mongeon puts it in front of his own net. Picked up by Dollywall. He'll put a shot deflected there. Good chance there by number 16. That's Vanderhoff. Again, the newest Sioux Eagle, number 16, Eric Vanderhoff, coming over from Elliott Lake. We'll see Elliott Lake tomorrow night here. Get a chance to go against his old team right away, Larry.
Right away. It's always good.
Yeah, it is. Now Maltese will get the puck into the Eagle zone. These teams have played close games all year long. Not much has separated the two. This will be the final meeting of the regular season. They very well could meet in the playoffs, but this one definitely the final one in the regular season. Clark plays it off the glass. Mongeon gloves it down. Martin takes it for Rayside across the blue line. Martin in the slot, dropping it for Chisholm. His shot, good save, Brancato. That was a good scoring opportunity for Rayside. Now puck at center ice. Lamberty will chip it into the Rayside zone. Canadians with the puck behind their own net. Now they'll skate it up across the blue line. That's Hatanaka. Taken away by Branninger. Now Branninger clears the zone. Snow at the center circle for Rayside. He'll put the puck back in his own zone. Taken away by Price. Now Branninger over in the far corner. Tried to put it in front. Intercepted by Clark. Now here's DeGrazia on the left wing side. DeGrazia trying to get around Boulware. Belanger, he loses the puck. Smoody for the Eagles. Pass taken by Wood. Wood at center ice. Across the blue line with the shot. Bowen with the save. Wood over in the far corner. We'll play it behind the net. Now Price tried to get it in front. Clark clears the zone for Rayside. Smoody at the red line. He'll fire it back in. A lot of neutral zone play here in the first 5 minutes. Canadians with it. DeGrazia across the blue line. Now Smoody clears at the center. Branninger across the blue line. Branninger in. Branninger with a shot and a goal!
What a wrister!
Number 15 for the Eagles, Joel Branninger, found some room and puts it in the upper corner for the Sioux Eagles. And they lead by the score of 1-0 with 15:01 to play in this first period. Well, that's the kind of start I think the Eagles wanted, and they get it.
Glove side on Bowen.
Yeah, it's a beautiful shot, and we'll get the call from Bob St. Peter. Eagles with a 1-0 lead early. Sometimes it takes Bob a little while to get going there. Taking Bob a lot while. Now here's Bambacco in the slot. Bambacco over in the far corner, behind the net. Apparently Bob wasn't ready for that one either, Larry.
No.
Eagle goal scored by number 15, Joel Brandinger. Unassisted.
So an unassisted goal by Brandinger as Vachon moves into the Eagle zone and Brancato makes the save. We'll have a face-off in the Eagle zone. 14:30 to play in this first period. 1-0 Eagles.
Well, that was an eye-opener there, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah, really the play took nothing to develop. And boom, just like that, it's 1-0. And the Eagles haven't had a lot of opening goals, Larry. It seems like they're always dropping that first goal and playing from behind. Not tonight. Here's Dax across the blue line. His shot, and Bowen makes the save. Larry, while we have a moment, I want to say hello to a few folks watching on Hockey TV. I want to say hello to Susan Dax and the Dax family watching from Lyndhurst, Illinois. I want to say hello to Vicky Portlook watching from Houston. Also want to say hello to Daniel Clark and Tom Bice. And Tom wanted to mention that sister is watching, would be Tommy's sister, from the University of Arizona, competing for Western Michigan University gymnastics tomorrow.
Western Michigan. I was down there. I ran their rink.
You did. The old Lawson back in the day, right?
The old Lawson. The first year it opened up.
Wow, you're that old, eh?
I'm that old.
So good luck there, sister. Watching gymnastics. Well, that's quite a road trip there. Western Michigan going out to University of Arizona in January. That's good scheduling right there.
Really, yeah.
Holy mackerel. Back to hockey here. Again, if you want to tweet us during the broadcast, you can by going to Scott Nason 3, the number 3, at Twitter. Now the Canadians with the puck at center ice. Eagles with the 1-0 lead. We've played 7 minutes of this first period. We'll get to the other games going on in the NOJHL on our next break. Now here's a chance.
Look at that.
And a goal. Oliver Smith was open in front, and he was found by the Rayside player. I didn't see who passed that one, but doesn't matter. It's 1-1. 13:47 to play here in this first period.
Boy, he was wide open over there. It's almost like they had a power play and he was at the back door.
Another one of those bang plays, Larry, and so the Canadians tie it up at 1. Other games in the NOJHL tonight, we got a full slate of games, and we'll get to the scores here in a moment. We'll get to the goal call first for Bob St. Peter. See if he's a little more ready for this one.
Canadian goal scored by number 22, Oliver Smith. Assist, number 15, Mitchell Martin, and number 14, Brady Matalas. The time of the goal, 13:47.
So Martin and Maltese with the assists, and it's 1-1. Other games after 1 period of play, French River and Hearst tied at 1. No score after 1 between the Kirkland Lake Gold Miners and Cochrane Crunch, and the Sioux Thunderbirds leading at Elliott Lake 1-0 halfway through the first period. Those are the 3 other games in the NOJHL tonight. Eagles with the puck. Price moves it into the Canadian zone. Behind the net, now DeGrazia on the near side boards. Picked up by Chisholm. Chisholm on the end boards in his own zone for Rayside. Eagles trying to knock that puck loose. Branninger, who has the Eagles' goal, had it for a moment, now picked up by the Canadians. DeGrazia now will clear it to center ice. Chisholm in his own zone. Rink-wide pass over the far boards. Canadians fire it in. DeGrazia, centering chance in front. Hatanaka with the chance. Brancato swats that puck away. Puck along the near boards. That's DeGrazia. DeGrazia over to Chisholm. His shot. Save Brancato. Nice job there to get the rebound off the boards and glass. And he didn't want to have any chances with that one, Larry. Smart play by Brancato.
Yeah, he reached behind the net to pick that up, making sure it wasn't going anywhere.
Behind the bench for the Soo Eagles tonight, a couple assistant coaches, Alex Saruk and JT Hankey. See Coach Doug LaPrade not behind the bench. He'll be back tomorrow night for the Eagles.
He'll be up in a corner someplace.
I saw him earlier, but he must be somewhere else right now. Puck along the end boards. We're tied at 1, 12:30 to play in this opening period. Now centering chance. Puck goes back to the point for the Canadians. Snow. He'll fire it to the near corner. French for the Eagles. With the puck. Now McLaughlin tries to clear it. French. Plays over to Parrott. Now Parrott up to Veka. Bambacco. He lost it. Now here's Vachon. No penalty. Everybody was looking for one there. Now Brown with it. Behind the net. That's Biondi. Back to Clark at the point. Clark with a quick shot. That one blocked by Veka. Veka will clear the zone for the Eagles. Here's Bambacco. 3-on-1 for the Eagles. A 4-on-1. Oh, bad pass there. Veka now a chance in front. That one deflected by Bambacco. That goes wide. Now here comes Rayside. Snow at the center circle. Snow over in the far corner. On the near board, Smith with it. Smith with a shot. Deflected in front of shot. Oh, missing the net. Glorious chance there for number 15, Mitchell Martin, but it just went wide. Now back in the Eagles zone.
There's excitement at both ends there.
Yeah, there is. Excuse me, the Canadian zone. That's Arnberg. Arnberg passing on the near side to Martin. Now Martin across the blue line. Martin lost his footing. Puck goes over in the far corner. Picked up by Dresch. Dresch gets it to center ice for the Eagles. Shot 7-4 Rayside here with 11 minutes to play in the first period. We're tied at 1. Puck at center ice. Dresch. The big hit on Maltese. Now Clark. Over along the far boards to Bice. Tommy Bice. Across the blue line. Now Bice with it, a shot. That deflects wide. Back to the point, Dresch. He fires. Save Bowen. Rebound. Goes along the side of the net. And David Bowen will hold on. With 10:41 to play in this opening period, we're still tied at 1 goal apiece.
Yeah, as I was saying, both goaltenders were caught off guard there. Eagles had 4 men inside there, and Bambacco deflected a shot wide. And down this end here, Brancato, he was caught out of the net, and they almost scored one right through the goal crease.
I want to say hello to Patty Lanning and family watching tonight in Arizona. The entire Lamberti fan club and family. Again, you want to tweet us, Scott Nason 3. That's the number 3. I'm still used to the old one, Larry. Getting used to this new thing.
Get in with the 2020 year.
That's right. Everyone's vision improved this year. Now here's DeGrazia across the blue line. DeGrazia centering chance. Hatanaka passes a little behind him. Rayside really coming on here as this game's going on. DeGrazia across the blue line. Boulware took it away. Now Mongeon's shot. That goes high against the far glass. Now the Eagles will clear it to center ice. Halfway through this first period. We're tied at 1. We'll have our immediate timeout here coming up momentarily. Maybe. Now Boulware with it. He'll get up to the blue line. Skrella, rink wide pass to Smoody on the right wing side across the blue line. Smoody with the pass, rather. Deflects, goes over the far side. Vachon will flip it to center ice. Chased down by Biondi. Now Biondi across the blue line. Biondi moving in, centering chance just out of the reach of Vachon. As Clark will keep it in for Rayside. Canadians buzzing right now. Rayside with the puck. Broken up there by Parrott. And he'll clear it to center ice. Snow at his own blue line. Passing it over to Clark. Now Clark will fire that one down the ice. No icing. Picked up by Wood. Caleb Wood for the Soo Eagles. Drop it to French. Now the Eagles will get it at their own blue line. Wood again. He'll skate it to center. Now across the Canadians' blue line. Wood with a shot that hits Snow's stick. Goes over to Price. He tries to fire it in. That one
hit the referee.
Yeah. Branninger behind the net to Wood. Now Wood loses the puck. Canadians with the puck in their own zone. Martin will clear that one to center. Here's Biondi at center ice. Biondi still has the puck. Now Biondi with the shot. Brancato with a pad save and juggles it and holds with 8:43 to play in this first period. Larry, immediate timeout. We're tied at 1 goal apiece.
Yeah, Biondi was fortunate there. He kept himself on side with that little, you say eye-hand coordination. Well, he's using foot-puck eye coordination.
Looking at the Ontario Hockey League, Larry, busy trade deadline over there. Lots of teams loading up. I know the Saginaw Spirit, boy, they really loaded up for a run. The Sioux Greyhounds more sellers than buyers, although they did get a commitment from their import draft player, Malik, the goaltender, one of the best goaltenders for next year's draft. So that's going to help the Hounds. They need help tonight. They're losing 2-1 after one period of play to the Mississauga Steelheads at the Memorial Gardens. You can hear that game locally on Rock 101 with Jerry Liscombe Jr.
The cameraman here, Rob Horn. Now there's a young team in here, and he just put the camera on them, got them to wave the camera.
Yeah.
Nice job, Rob.
Always good to see that. Patty says, Patty and Hawk watching. Hawk wants an Eagles win for his birthday, so happy birthday, Hawk.
Happy birthday.
Eagles hopefully will make that birthday wish come true. Are you supposed to say birthday wishes, or is that something else you're not supposed to say? Can you say those out loud, or right?
I don't know. To me, well,
is that jinxing it, or okay? I don't know. It's like the shutout thing, It's
yeah, that one there.
I've jinxed a few of those over the years. Canadians with the puck. Martin across the blue line. Now Martin along the end boards. Clark will play it over to Veka. Veka gets it to McLaughlin in his own zone. John McLaughlin at center ice will fire it off the boards. Bowen behind his own net. Gets it to Bertrand. Bertrand up to Maltese, who gets hit. Martin with it. Martin. Veka breaks that up. McLaughlin, he'll fire it in. This Rayside team, Larry, compared to past years, not quite as physical and rough and tumble as we've seen over the years. This is a little more of a skilled, I think, team than rough and tumble like we saw last year.
Well, the last time when they were in here, they changed their...
You're right.
They went into that rough and tumble. I'll have to look back and see.
I think overall, though, if you look at their complete body of work, not so much.
I was surprised, though, because the Kumos were teaching them some good hockey.
Now DeGrazia with the puck for Rayside, taken away by Smoody. Over the far board, Skrella, and that one goes out of play as one of the... look at that. They're all going for the puck over there, Larry. And don't throw it back, boys. Keep it. Now they're looking. Nope. Don't throw it back. Keep the puck. Yep. There you go.
Yeah, that game was a 7-6 shootout that Rayside beat the Eagles back in November 1st.
Well, almost all the games have been low scoring, minus that one.
Well, that was a one-goal game, though.
That's true, yeah, another one-goal game. Face-off won by the Eagles. Parrott with it. Shots 8-6 Rayside. We're tied at 1, 7-10 to play in this first period. The 8th and final meeting of the regular season for these two squads. It's funny how the schedule works out, Larry. This is the 8th game between these teams. Elliott Lake comes in tomorrow night, and it'll be just the 4th game between those teams. There's still 4 more to go.
Really? Hey, I don't know.
Now the
Elliott
Canadians
Lake
with it.
didn't have arena trouble this year.
No,
too,
just the
did
way
they?
the schedule's set up. Now here's Wood getting, almost got it to Branninger. Mongeon intercepts that one at center ice. Branninger with the only Eagles goal in this one. Fast-moving first period. We
Here
have
we go.
6:35 to play. Now Branninger in the zone. He gets tripped.
that should
a
be
shot
a penalty
and a
shot.
save there
Let's see
by
if they-
Bowen. We'll see what the call is. There's going to be a penalty call, and I think it's just going to be a trip.
Oh, come on.
So that's going to give the Eagles a power play with 6:27 to play in this first period.
He had the opportunity to give a penalty shot.
So Joel Branninger doing it on the offense for the Soo Eagles, scoring the goal, the first goal of this game. That his 11th of the season. Then Oliver Smith with his 19th for Rayside. We'll get the call from Bob St. Peter. Eagles on the power play. We're tied at 1. As the Canadians shoot it down the ice. Brancato over to Branninger. It's going to be a tripping call on Mongeon, so we don't need to hear Bob because it'll be 5 minutes before we do. Now here's Vanderhoff. Newest Soo Eagle on the power play. Now here's a chance for Rayside. Brown gets it to Vachon. Brown going to the net. Gets it. Brown with it a shot. Brancato stayed right with them and makes the save of a face-off in the Eagle zone. 5:56 to play in the first period. Minute 30 left on the power play for the Eagles. We're tied at 1.
Eagles won the face-off, lost the puck, went all the way down the ice, and then Branninger and one of the defensemen got mixed up, and they tried to develop something, and they never developed it. Got stopped at the blue line, and then they come down and have an opportunity to score. You just can't take a power play for granted. You got to be on the ball all the time.
Face-off won by the Eagles. Dresch gets it behind the net to French. French now at center ice will fire it in. Bowen out of his net. Now the Canadians will take it. Can't clear it. Dresch keeps it in. They'll fire it off the boards behind the net. Bertrand now picked up by Arnberg.
What a bounce that was.
Boy, it sure was. Now here's Biondi across the blue line. He's got a late man, Biondi, trying to get it there to Smith, or Siren rather, but he couldn't. Now here's Price with it. Bobby Price across the blue line. Price now will cycle it over to the far boards. Wood couldn't get to that puck as the Canadians clear it to center. French at his own blue line. 45 seconds left on the power play. Dresch at center ice. Across the blue line. Now over to the far boards, Veka. Eagles looking to get a shot on this power play, looking to control the puck. Haven't had either so far, as the Canadians will fire that one down the ice. 20 seconds left on the Eagles power play. Dresch now loses the puck. Maltese puts it in front. Shot, save Brancato. Rebound, another shot. That one goes wide as Maltese was falling down. 10 seconds left on the power play. Eagles doing absolutely nothing on this one. Lamberty across the blue line. Lamberty in the slot. And that's going to be taken away by DeGrazia. Disastrous power play there for the Eagles. They were lucky just not to give up a goal.
Really?
Now at center ice. Canadians with it. Hatanaka across the blue line. Hatanaka in the slot going around 3 players. Finally loses the puck. Smoody picks it up for the Eagles. Long pass up ice. That's going to be icing with 4:08 to play in this first period. Shots 10-7 Rayside. We're tied at 1.
Eagles just seem to be chasing the puck. Or you know what? I shouldn't say they're chasing the puck. They're letting the Canadians beat them to the puck. It's even on that power play where they got beat to the puck in their own zone. Canadians are forcing, they're pressing all the time.
Face-off win by the Canadians in the slot. DeGrazia, big save there. Brancato with the pad. As the Canadians definitely having the better scoring chances here in this first period. A win for Rayside, and they will tie Blind River for first place in the West Division. Eagles currently 2 points behind the Thunderbirds for third in the West. Thunderbirds leading at Elliott Lake tonight. That one goes down the ice. We'll have another icing call. We'll be here tomorrow night, Larry, for the Soo Eagles homestand continuing as the Elliott Lake Wildcats will come into town. Well, the pregame show 6:45 on ESPN 1400 and on Hockey TV.
No, the Thunderbirds are in the Eagles. Are they even in games?
They are now, yep. And with that loss to Espanola at home on Wednesday, both the Eagles and Thunderbirds have played 40 games, so 16 remaining for both. You really start counting the points as you move along because, again, Larry, We talk about it a lot, but the way the playoff is set up, 4 plays 5 in the opening round. Nobody else plays during that round. It's a best of 3, and that 5 is going to be Espanola. And, well, that's not a gimme.
No.
They're playing very good hockey this year, probably their best season since the current incarnation of Espanola. They're a competitive squad, and they've beaten the Eagles this year. They've beaten the Thunderbirds a couple times, and you don't want to sleep on them at all.
Not really, as you can see here.
Now here's Bumbacco across the blue line for the Eagles. Bumbacco's shot, save Bowen. Goes over to the far corner. Veka getting it back to the point. French, his shot, easily gloved by Bowen, and he will make the save. Of course, David Bowen, the son of Toronto Maple Leafs radio broadcaster Joe Bowen.
Right.
Leafs playing pretty good hockey these days, Larry, after the coaching change.
Yes, they are.
Detroit Red Wings playing horrible hockey and maybe need a coaching change. They need something. Now face-off won by the Eagles. Shot there. Bowen struggled with that one, but it goes behind the net. Over in the far corner. Rayside now will clear the zone. Picked up by Dresch. 3 minutes to play here in this first period. Bumbacco across the blue line. Bumbacco gets around Maltese. Now puts it in front, but nobody was there as that puck goes back to center ice. Dresch with the puck over to Clark. Hayden Clark gets it up to Bumbacco across the blue line with a shot. Oh, it hits the side of the net.
Side of that goal post.
Yeah, or rather Bowen went the wrong way, I think, and almost snuck that one in. 2:30 to play. Now Snow in the zone. Over to Smith, a shot. Oh, Smith missed the net. He had a lot to shoot at as well. As Rayside really getting some chances here in this first period. Eagles with the puck. Dresch in front of his own net. He'll skate it across the blue line. Now Dresch at center ice. Will backhand it in. Goes wide of Bowen. Dresch picks up the rebound. He go for a line change. Branninger will get the puck. Now behind the net. Branninger tried to wrap around. Saved by Bowen. Behind the net. Branninger gets the puck again. Back to the point. Clark. Now Clark moves in. Fires it. Saved by Bowen. Goes over to the far boards. Rayside has it. Under 2 to play in the first period. Hatanaka waits for some players to come off the bench on the line change. Now behind the net, the Canadians have it. Arnberg back to Hatanaka. Hatanaka now still behind his own net. With the puck. At center ice, he'll flip it down into the zone.
That might be icing.
And that will be icing as well. The face-off in the Rayside Balfour zone. 1:31 to play in the first period. We are tied at 1. You are listening to Soo Eagles Hockey on ESPN 1400 WKNW Sault Ste. Marie. My name is Scott Nason. Our color commentator tonight, Larry Pozzebon. Our broadcast engineer back in the ESPN 1400 studios is Sam Cox. Our cameraman here at Puller Stadium is Rob Horn. We have 1:31 to play in the first period. The Rayside Balfour Canadians and Soo Eagles tied at 1. Canadians win the face-off. DeGrazia skates it to center. Now Belanger across the blue line. Belanger back to DeGrazia. His shot, save Brandt, and he gets run into after the shot.
The referee was standing right there and didn't make that call.
Now here's Belanger with it. Poke checked away by Scarella.
And he goes back now, and now he talks to him.
Now picked up by DeGrazia at center ice. DeGrazia across the blue line. Now DeGrazia centering chance. Belanger's shot. That one I think hit Smoody in front. Now another shot. Brancato makes the save. A minute left to play. Eagles with the puck. That's going to go down the ice and wide of Bowen. And so we'll have an icing call with 53 seconds to play here in the first period. We're still tied at 1.
I got to mark that down.
Other games in the NOJHL. Tonight, Hearst now leading at French River 2-1 with 12 minutes to play in the second period. Still no score in Cochrane between Kirkland Lake and the Crunch. And the Sioux Thunderbirds now leading Elliott Lake 2-0. That one late in the first period. Canadians win the face-off. Biondi fans on the shot. Puck loose. French picks it up. French behind his own net to Parrott. Now Parrott can't clear it. Kept in by Chisholm. Parrott gets it right back for the Eagles in front of his own bench. Now that's Vanderhoff. He'll clear it to center. Mongeon with it for the Canadians across the blue line. Now Mongeon gets around French. Mongeon lost the puck. Dax, he'll fire it off the boards. Chisholm will play it behind the Eagles netminder. Vachon tried to get it in front. 15 seconds to play. Puck over in front of the Eagles bench. Now the Canadians player lost his helmet, so he's going to have to go back to the bench. It's not your day, Larry, where you could play without the helmet or mask. 10 seconds to play. Brown over to Chisholm. Now Smith, intercepted by the Eagles. Dollywall looking for one last shot. He's not going to get it. And after one period of play here at Puller Stadium, we are tied at 1 shots, 15-10, in favor of the visitors from Chelmsford after 1 period of play. We're going to take a break here on our broadcast. We come back, we'll recap the scoring, look at some of the other scores, and look ahead to the second period here at Puller Stadium. Once again, our score, we are tied at 1 apiece between the Rayside Balfour Canadians and the Soo Eagles. You are watching Soo Eagles hockey on Hockey TV and listening on ESPN 1400. Welcome back to Puller Stadium on ESPN 1400 and Hockey TV. Our score after 1 period of play here at the Puller. The Soo Eagles and Rayside Balfour Canadians tied at 1 goal apiece. Recapping the scoring in that second period. The Eagles got on the board first as Joel Branninger scored his 11th goal of the season unassisted at the 4:59 mark to make it 1-0 Eagles. And the Rayside Balfour goal scored just a little over a minute later at the 6:13 mark of the first. Oliver Smith, his 19th of the season, with assists from Mitchell Martin and Brady Maltese, and that's where we sit right now. The Eagles and Canadians tied at 1 goal apiece. Shots on goal in that first period, 15 for the Canadians, 10 for the Soo Eagles. Other games in the NOJHL after 1 period in Elliott Lake. The Sioux Thunderbirds leading the Elliott Lake Wildcats by the score of 2-0. The Eagles and Canadians will be watching that one. The Thunderbirds currently 2 points ahead of the Eagles for third place in the West Division. No other Western teams in action tonight. 2 other games in the East. French River losing at home to Hearst with 8 minutes left in the second period, 2-1. And Kirkland Lake and Cochrane still no score. That one halfway through the second period. Sioux Greyhounds losing at home right now to Mississauga by the score of 2-1. And the Sioux High Blue Devil hockey team and Gaylord are tied at 2 after 2 periods of play down in Gaylord. We're going to take our final break here in the pregame show. We come back, we'll be rejoined by Larry Pozzebon and have the start of the second period here at Puller Stadium. Once again, our score, the Soo Eagles and Rayside Balfour Canadians tied at 1. You're watching Soo Eagles hockey on Hockey TV, and you're listening on ESPN 1400. Scott Nason, Larry Pozzebon back at Puller Stadium here on ESPN 1400 and Hockey TV. Poz, we're tied at 1, shots 15-10 in favor of Rayside. Your thoughts on the first period?
Good goaltending by both teams. The better opportunities came by Rayside, but Brancato stood strong. And the few that Bowen had, he was strong in it. I think Bowen would like to get that first goal back. Went over his glove. Maybe it caught him off guard. Or maybe it was a good, quick shot. But that's it. It ended up 1-1. Now we'll see who's going to take this period.
Lamberty to take the face-off for the Eagles. Maltese for the Canadians. We're underway here in the second period. We got a few more Twitter hellos to say here in our next whistle. Again, tweet us at ScottNason3. That's the number 3. Now the puck goes back in the Rayside zone. Bowen plays it up to his defenseman out of the zone. That's Martin. He gets knocked down. Siren fires that in. Brancato will stick that behind the net. Parrott on the near side boards. Canadians with it. Just 1 penalty so far. That went against Rayside. The only power play for the Eagles. Now Maltese drops it for Martin. Martin with the puck. Now Martin back to the point. Here's a chance. Snow shot. That misses the net. Over to Siren. His shot and a goal. Whoa. Wow, Siren found a very limited space that was available, and he got it over the shoulder of Shane Brancato. And just like that, 43 seconds into the second period, Larry, the Rayside Balfour Canadians now lead the Soo Eagles by the score of 2-1. That one just had eyes for the net right there.
It did, yeah.
And Brancato really didn't have a whole lot of chance to stop that one. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of net to shoot at. And Siren, well, he made the light go on, and it's 2-1 Rayside.
They're happy with that one, scoring
yes,
early
they are.
in the second period.
We'll get the call from Bob St. Peter. 2-1 lead. Wait for Bob St. Peter here to give us the announcement on the Canadians goal. Now a shot goes through the slot, picked up by the Eagles. Now they'll get it up to center ice. Wood lost the puck. Now the Canadians with it. DeGrazia at his own blue line. Rayside with the puck in their own zone. Arnberg now will flip that to center ice. Dresch takes it away for the Eagles. Now Dresch fires that into the Canadian zone. Bertrand behind his own net, rather. Picked up by the Canadians. Now they clear the zone. DeGrazia across the Eagles' blue line. DeGrazia with the move, but he lost the puck. As the Eagles will clear that one down to center ice. Still waiting for the goal call from Bob.
Is he there?
I think so. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he's checking Twitter himself. Now here's Hatanaka. If I see Bob St. Peter on Twitter, I'm officially done with that.
Here he goes. He's ready now.
There we go. To the ready Bob.
Canadian goal scored by number 14, Brady Metalis. Assist, number 15, Mitchell Martin. And number 9, Zachary.
Well, I think they got that one totally wrong, Larry.
15.
That was Siren that had the shot, but the goal goes to Maltese. So we'll see if they change that. I was pretty clear to me that it was Siren. Either way, it's 2-1 Rayside. Now Brown with it. Brown leaves it behind the net. Clark. Now he loses the puck. Price can't clear the zone. Canadians keep it in. 17:35 to play in the second period. Rayside with a 2-1 lead. Now Brown on the slot. His shot.
Again.
And a goal! 3-1 Rayside. 17:30 to play here in the second period. And, well, the Canadians getting some good opportunities to put some pucks in the net. Well, they've capitalized on 2 of them here in the second period. So not the start of the period that the Eagles envisioned by any stretch.
No way, that's for sure.
It's
wow.
3-1 Rayside. So we'll get another goal call from Bob St. Peter. Almost hesitant to say who scored the goal since apparently I got the last one so wrong. Want to say hello to one of our radio listeners tonight, Rudyard's own Herb Maloney. Thanks, Herb, for tuning in. Now Bowen behind his own net. We'll stop that one. Snow with it. Off the boards to Martin. He gets knocked down. Now here's McLaughlin in his own zone. McLaughlin with the puck across the blue line.
Canadian goal scored by number 23, Gavin Brown. Assist, number 67, Samuel Vachon. And number 17, Gio Abonde. Time of the goal.
So they give the goal to Brown with assists from Vachon and Biondi. And it's 3-1 Rayside. 3 minutes gone by here in this second period. Shots now 19-10 in favor of Rayside. I want to say hello to a few of our folks on Twitter. I want to say hello to Steve-O from Auburn, California, rooting on Jake Larmy Lamberty and the Soo Eagles, and he says, get well soon, Fiona. So thank you, Steve-O. Always good to hear from you. We got to meet him a couple months ago here at Puller Stadium.
I think one of the officials, one of the referees just went over to the penalty box. I think they're going to make a change on one of the goals.
It should be that second goal. I don't know if Brown scored the third goal, to be quite honest. I thought it was somebody else, but what do I know? I'm just announcing a hockey game here.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you know?
You're waiting for that one, don't you? We'll talk about
that.
I'm
on your side.
For the Canadians, number 43,
Jessamy
Siren.
Bob.
Got that goal, number 43.
So that
goal scored by number 23, Brown. Assist number.
So now a shot and a save there by Bowen. So change the second goal. That does go to Mr. Siren. I love it when I'm proven right, Larry. It happens so rarely. Now here's Maltese with the puck in his own zone. But when it happens, I definitely love to gloat about it. Now Parrott with the puck for the Eagles. We played 4 minutes of this first period. Long pass off the stick of Dax. Bowen will play that one to the blue line. Here's Bice with it. Hatanaka in front of his own net with some speed. Fast player out there, Hatanaka. Across the blue line, drops it for Belanger. Belanger drops it for DeGrazia. That one broken up by Brancato. Now here's Scarella. Across the blue line. Offside.
No.
Well, the official says yes, Larry. That's an offside. And that'll be a face-off outside the blue line of the Canadians.
Oh.
And they're going to call it intentional offside. They're going to bring that one all the way down the ice.
No, from where they shot it from, they're saying.
Oh, right, I see. Yep.
That's, no.
So face-off in the Eagles' end. 3-1 Rayside, 15:43 to play here in this second period. Was close.
I'd like to see that replay.
Now you can replay it on Hockey TV. Let us know what you think. Now Hatanaka's shot blocked, gets it right back. That one will be cleared down the ice. Bertrand with the puck for the Canadians. Behind his own net. Not been a good second period so far for the Eagles. Now Clark with it at the blue line. Clark with the shot. Hits a player in front. Now here come the Canadians. Belanger lost it. Lamberty gets it over to Scarella. Now Scarella along the near board. Centering chance. That goes right through Lamberty in front. Tried to play it back to the blue line. Intercepted by the Canadians. Belanger. Now Belanger across the blue line. In shot. Save Brancato, and he'll hold with 15:02 to play in the second period. Shots 20-11. Rayside, they lead 3-1.
Yeah, they've jumped up 5-1. 5-1 in shots in this period on the Eagles.
Out of town scoreboard, Larry, after, or I should say early second period, Sioux Thunderbirds leading Elliott Lake 2-0. Late second, Kirkland Lake up on Cochrane 1-0, and after two, French River trails Hearst by the score of 3-2. Canadians win the face-off. Now the Eagles get it back in their own zone. Smoody lost it right in front. Vachon had it poke checked away. Now Vachon gets it back in front of his own bench. Smoody for the Eagles over in the far corner behind the net to Boulware. Boulware now behind his own net for the Eagles. Played on the near boards, Branninger. Now Branninger will flip that one to center ice. Poke checked away by Biondi. Brown at the center circle for the Canadians. Now they have it at their own blue line. Vachon will clear it in. Boulware with the puck for the Eagles. Long pass off the boards, intercepted by Clark for the Canadians at center ice. Now Christopher Clark into his own zone. Clark now skates it across the red line. Now blue line, that's going to be offside. We'll have a face-off outside the Eagles' blue line with 14:15 to play in this second period. 3-1 Canadians.
Pretty good crowd here tonight.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about the crowd coming up here, Larry, and our Guess the Attendance Challenge. Your turn to guess. We'll talk more about that during our media timeout. Sioux Greyhounds in action tonight over at the Memorial Gardens. Larry, right now Mississauga still leading the Hounds 2-1 late second.
This young Terrio is playing with the Mississauga.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. Now back to the blue line. Canadians with the puck. Shot. Oh, it hits the side of the net. I think many people thought that might have gone in. Now over in the far corner, Martin with it. Martin back to the blue line. Snow. Now he'll play behind the net to Smith. Smith with the puck for the Canadians. Now Smith back to Snow. Snow will play it off the boards. Goes in front. Bounces to McLaughlin for the Eagles. Now McLaughlin across the blue line. He's got Bambaco going to the net. Pass just out of his reach. Picked up by Martin for the Canadians. Now Martin up to Siren. Siren scored the second goal for the Canadians. Now across the blue line. Drops it for Hatanaka. Tried to put it in front. Now Snow at the point. He fires. That one goes high. Takes a weird bounce. Good job by French to clear that aside. Now Veka with the puck for the Eagles behind his own net. Gets it up to McLaughlin. Now McLaughlin tried to get it around Hatanaka. Nice play by him. Belanger across the blue line. Belanger in the slot with the move. Belanger with the shot. Misses it. Puck goes on the near boards to Veka. Trying to get up to Dax. Intercepted there by Arnberg as Veka takes it. Fires it into the Canadian zone. 13 minutes to play in the second period. Canadians with 2 goals in this stanza lead by the score of 3-1.
And they're still coming on strong,
Yes,
too.
they are. Here's Hatanaka across the blue line. Hatanaka now drops it for DeGrazia. DeGrazia poke checked away there by Parrott. Now Dax flips that one up to center ice over the stick of Dollywall. Canadians with it in their own zone. They'll fire that one down the ice, and that'll be an icing call with 12:33 to play here in this second period.
Yeah, the Eagles are, I'll tell you, they're chasing now again. Because Canadians are just coming on.
If you want to hear the podcast of our radio broadcast, you can do so by going to the website, thegamesportshow.com, or the podcast site, thegamesportshow.podbean.com. We put all our Sioux Eagles home game broadcasts on there, as well as all our shows from ESPN 1400, Sioux, Ontario, and such. Scarella lost his stick, kicks it back to Dresch. Now a deflected shot there.
Nice.
Good chance there by Vanderhoff. That one saved by Bowen. Now here come the Canadians with it. DeGrazia into the Eagles zone behind the net. Now DeGrazia will fire that off the boards. Takes another weird bounce off the rail. Center ice, Chisholm with it. Now Chisholm still has the puck over on the far boards. Lamberty on him. been the most physical game we've seen so far this year. Just one penalty so far. Now the Canadians come up with the puck. They'll fire it down the ice. And that will not be icing as Dresch will pick it up. Here's Arnberg. Pass to center ice. Puck bouncing all over the place. Now Clark has it for the Eagles. Lamberty in front of Rayside bench to Skrella across the blue line. Skrella in, shot. Oh, save there, Bowen. Rebound goes all the way to center ice as Skrella had a good scoring chance there for the Eagles. Now Skrella will backhand the puck back into the Canadian zone. Arnberg has it. Arnberg will flip that one off the boards. Taken by Clark. Now he'll fire it back in. Skrella offside. Touched up. Now behind the Canadians' net. Rayside has it. Long pass to the center circle. Picked up by Biondi. Now Biondi waiting. Still has it. Plays it over to Chisholm. Now Chisholm moves in. Shot. Save Brancato. Rebound Arnberg. Now Dresch on him. Chisholm trying to pinch in, keep that puck in. Branninger will clear it. That one trickles down into the Canadian zone. Picked up by Clark. Christopher Clark for the Canadians behind his own net. Rayside with 2 goals in the second period with a 3-1 lead. So we approach the halfway point of the second period. Now Brown will fire that one down the ice. We'll have a glove pass.
Yeah, you can only do it in your own defensive zone.
So coming up here, Larry, in the second half of the second period, we'll play our favorite game, Guess the Attendance. Now this one, always tough for those on the radio that are listening, but just envision how many people are here at Puller Stadium. Those on Hockey TV have a little better chance in this game because they can see what's going on as far as the fans and how many. We'll talk more about that in a moment. As the Canadians win the face-off in their own zone. Snow will shoot that one down the ice. No icing as it was deflected. Smoody behind his own net for the Eagles. Over the near boards, Veka. Veka with it. Now gets it to Boulware. Boulware across the blue line to McLaughlin in the slot. McLaughlin with a backhand shot. Might have hit the player in front of Bowen. Didn't see who that was, but whoever it was made the save. Now Snow shoots that one down the ice, and that's going to be icing. And that should bring us to our media timeout, Larry, with 9:56 to play in the second period. Shots 20-14 Rayside. They lead 3-1.
Guess it's my turn to put a number up.
It is, and so as I was alluding to, you at home can also play. Season series right now, I'm leading by 1, 8-7.
Well, I guess we're not having a timeout.
I guess we're not having a timeout. We never quite know when that timeout's going to be. Always thought it should be after the 10-minute mark of the period, barring a power play, but sometimes it's other times. I guess they keep us on our toes, Larry, and these officials do keep us on our toes. Now Rayside with
and
the
the
puck.
fans too sometimes.
Yes, they do, and coaches. Now puck along the near boards in the Eagles zone. Referee saying move the puck. So far nobody's moving the puck. And the puck's still there. And nobody's moving the puck, and nobody's blowing the whistle. Guess if you're Rayside, you'll keep it here for another 9 minutes.
Yeah.
If you can. I mean, why not? You're up by 2. They're still not blowing the whistle. Finally, the whistle gets blown.
It'll be outside.
Outside the zone with 9:11 to play here in the second period. I don't know if I've seen it along the boards for so long in quite some time. We'll get our media.
Oh, here we go. Now they're giving timeout.
We'll get our media timeout, Larry. So, again, guess the attendance. I'm up 1 in the season series. Larry, you're going to put a guess as far as how many fans are here at Puller Stadium. I and the fans at home can say higher or lower. You can put up guess if you want. Just go to Twitter, Scott Nason 3. That's the number 3. So, Larry, are you ready to put up a number yet? Or are you still...
I've got a couple of numbers in my head, and I just... working them.
Well, let me give one more hello to Mike watching from Roscoe, Illinois. I believe Mike Smoody and the entire Smoody clan. Keep up the good work, guys. Go Eagles. Thank you, Mike. And also want to say hello to DJ Brancato watching tonight. I always said hello to Steve-O. Patty Lanning and Hawk watching. Happy birthday, Hawk. Susan Dax, the Dax family. Vicky Portlock and Jim down in Dallas. Or Houston, excuse me. Oh, that might be fighting words if I say Dallas. So thank you all, and Tommy Bice, who is here tonight.
And Dan Clark here tonight.
And Dan Clark, who is here tonight. Again, you can tweet us at Scott Nason and the number 3. Well, Larry?
Okay. 5. 535.
535. So Larry Pozzebon says there's 535 fans in attendance. I like the guess, Larry, but I like a little bit lower tonight. I'm already going to go out and say lower.
Okay.
So you on Hockey TV and on the radio can also play higher or lower. It's about the most exciting game we have here besides this one. We could play the match game, but that might get us in trouble. Favorite game show of all time, Larry?
The match game?
No, I mean yours.
Oh, my favorite game?
Yeah, game show.
Oh, yeah, game show. I don't
Think
know.
about that.
Yeah.
I got a couple. We'll talk about that here if this game gets boring as of an icing call. I got to say, I got to go with the classic. I know it's Jeopardy.
I was going to say that, too.
It's the game that stands the test of time. But I'll tell you this. You can claim Alex Trebek as your own countryman because that guy is condescending as can be on that show.
Oh, yeah?
He's a jerk. I'm sorry. And I shouldn't say that because he's going through never mind.
Well, you know what? I admire him. He could pronounce anything.
Yeah, and he knows the answer because he has the answers in front
Well,
of
I'm
him.
not talking about the answers. I mean, he could pronounce anybody's name. They can be from Walla 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 or Bing Bang Boom.
Yeah, something we can't do. I can tell you that much. And certainly Bob can't do. So Alex Trebek, I take it back. I take back everything I said. The shot goes wide. Isn't he from Sudbury?
I don't know.
I'm going to get some hate mail now.
I don't know. Timmins or maybe something. I don't know.
Get some hate tweets.
He's Canadian
here.
anyways.
Well, you can claim him and your prime minister, too.
Hey, you see he's growing a beard, eh?
Yeah, well.
He's hiding. You got to grow a beard, you hide.
From all those slush funsies. Anyway, when were we not supposed to get into politics in 2020? At least it's Canadian politics. A little break for me.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Back to hockey here, Larry, as that one goes down the ice. We'll have a face-off.
I got to say, Hawk. What family is that?
The Lanning family?
Yeah.
Patty and Hawk? Yeah.
What's his real name? I come from the West End. There's 5 guys who nicknamed Hawk.
Wow. Well, we'll have to get that. Patty, you got to help us out here. We got Hawk, Paz. I have several nicknames. Depends who you ask. Some I can't repeat. Now here's the Eagles with it at center ice. Dax across the blue line. Dax with a shot. That one hits Biondi in front. Dax comes up with it. Centering chance. Branninger. That shot gets deflected and goes wide. Now here's Dresch at the point. His shot hits a player in front. Goes to Biondi. Picked up by Vachon. Now Dresch at his own blue line. 8 minutes to play here in this second period. 3-1. Canadians lead the Soo Eagles. This is the 8th and final meeting between these two squads.
That I would have called offside.
Branninger with the puck for the Eagles. Now behind the net. Wood tried to put it in front, but Bowen there to make the save.
I guess they didn't want to call 2 of them. But that one I would have. The first one, no.
We'll be here tomorrow night, Larry. The Soo Eagles and Elliott Lake Wildcats. 6:45 pregame on Hockey TV and ESPN 1400. Then, Larry, we got 2 more next weekend. Soo Thunderbirds come in on a week from tonight, Friday, January 17th. And then the Elliott Lake Wildcats once again come in a week from tomorrow night, January 18th. That'll end the 9-game homestand. Then the Eagles will go 2 on the road and then play another 3 at home.
Busy home, eh?
Yes, indeed.
Good.
Now Martin with the puck for the Canadians. Martin in the near boards. Centering chance Smith. Put it in front. Broken up by Price. Now Price will flip that one to center ice. Branninger gets knocked down. Siren will chase it for the for the Canadians, rather. Now Dresch keeps that puck in momentarily. Maltese has it. Maltese gets around Wood. Now Maltese gets around Clark. Back in the Eagles zone. Price behind the net. That one will go up into the netting. We'll have a face-off with 6:53 to play here in this second period.
You got your chuck-a-pucks?
I do. 3 of them, and I see the big boys over there as well. A little
big competition. I'm going to have to count, see how many they buy this time. I'll be watching those guys.
Oh, Patty says his name is Donnie.
Donnie.
I like Hawk better.
Yeah.
Like it. Now, that was a good question, Larry. Guess I've always wondered that, but never have asked.
How many Hawks did you have growing up?
And Maria Lamberty also says Donnie, so it's confirmed.
Okay.
We got
it's Hawk.
We got confirmation. More than one source. We'll stick with the Hawk.
Okay, yeah, that's character.
I got a lot of friends that are named Don or Donnie, so that's a good first name in my book, Don Supa.
Yeah, I got a cousin named Don.
Okay.
Then we got the assistant coach, Sarok. His dad's Don.
Oh, yeah, Hatanaka gets it to DeGrazia in front, now broken up by Bull, where, he gets run into the boards. That's going to be a penalty, and we'll see if the Eagles retaliate or they just take the power play opportunity. Going to be, I think, a boarding call, Larry, or something of that nature.
He comes to the bench here.
So the Eagles will get another power play opportunity. 6:11 to play in this second period. They trail by 2. So the Eagles yet to get a penalty so far tonight.
2 minutes boarding. Yeah.
Yep.
Now, the last time the Eagles had a power play, never got a shot on goal.
Yeah.
And almost gave up 2. So get yourself organized this time around, boys.
A big chance for the Eagles here to try to get one back. They trail 3-1 on their second power play of the night. Now Vega behind the net.
Canadian penalty to number 61, Nick DeGrazia. 2 minutes boarding.
So boarding the call, Eagles on the power play. Dresch at the point. Dresch now loses it at center ice.
Here we go again.
Price with it. Now Price, nice pass over to Wood. Wood trying to set it up. Back to the point, Dresch. Over to Price. Now Price to Vega. Vega tried to put it in front. Now goes to the near corner. Price for the Eagles. Backhands it to the blue line, Dresch. Dresch with it. Gets it back. 1:20 left on the power play. Over to French. French back to Dresch. Now Dresch with the shot. Bowen makes the save. Goes over to the far corner. French back behind the end boards to Vega. French now with the puck. At the blue line, Wood. Moves it over to Price. Price now to the blue line, Dresch. Dresch over to French. His shot, save Bowen. Good setup for the Eagles, but Bowen there to make the save.
Good setup, yes. It took a long time coming, and there was nobody looking for a rebound, although there wasn't a rebound, but they have to have somebody in front maybe to deflect it and help out there.
5:08 to play in the second period. 57 seconds left on the Eagles' second power play. They trail 3-1. Rayside with both goals here in this second period.
Within the first 2:30.
Yeah. Eagles win the face-off. Skrella at the point. Over to Clark. Back to Skrella. Now quick pass near side. That's to Vanderhoff. Now Vanderhoff centering chance. That goes right to the Rayside player who fires it down the ice. Puck behind the Eagles net. Clark gets it to Branninger. Now Clark has it at his own blue line. 30 seconds left on the power play. Clark, I thought that was offside. Now Skrella has it. Rink wide pass over to Vanderhoff. Canadians come up with it and fire it down the ice. So Vanderhoff on the power play, Larry, is always tough, I think, for a new player to come right in and then play on the special teams.
Yeah, he was on the starting lineup, too, with the captain and the assistant captain. So but he comes with a good reputation.
Yes, he does. Just might understand if maybe he's not laser sharp on the power play, being he's been here for 24 hours, if that. Hatanaka with the puck as that power play will expire. So the Eagles 0-4-2 with 4 minutes to play here in the second period. Canadians cross the blue line. DeGrazia with it. DeGrazia puts it in front. That one goes through the slot. Hatanaka back to the point. Chisholm, his shot doesn't get through. Skrell almost had another break, broken up by Chisholm. Now the Canadians with the puck in their own zone, picked up by Vanderhoff. Now centering chance. Skrell with the backhand shot, and Lamberty, he gets hit after the whistle. We'll have a face-off in the Canadian zone. 3:37 to play here in the second period. Canadians with a 3-1 lead.
Lamberty, he don't like to settle down. He won't take any crap from anybody out there. In fact, sometimes he starts it. Good for him.
Shots on goal now 20-19 in favor of Rayside. So the Eagles, the last 8 shots. Yeah, it was 20-11 at one point here in the second period. Canadians win a quick face-off. They'll skate it to center ice. Nice move there by Biondi. Now Biondi puts it in front. Puck bouncing. Picked up by Brown for the Canadians. Now Rayside with it, or rather the Eagles with it. McLaughlin lost the puck at center ice. Here's the Biondi. Biondi's got Vachon in front. That one blocked Goes back to the point. Now Siren has it at center ice. Siren over to Snow. Snow fires that puck in. French with the puck. Over to Parrott. Now McLaughlin at center ice. Off the skate of Mbako. McLaughlin now in his own zone. French to Vega at center ice. He'll chip it in. Puck in the Rayside end. 2:45 to play in the second period. 3-1 Canadians. Rayside looking to win the season series 5-3 at the victory tonight. Eagles can only tie the season series with the victory. They got a long ways to go for that. Siren. He'll flip that one off the netting. I think that was deflected, so that'll keep the face off in the Eagles zone.
You know, I'm just watching. That puck was going over. Thank God for the netting right there, because those two ladies were talking. She would have got it right in the head.
They're texting, they're Snapchatting,
they weren't watching
Instagramming, they're Facebooking,
wow.
They're tweeting. There's just so much ones can do now.
Here we go.
Here's a chance for the Eagles, 2-on-1. Dollywall with it. Dollywall, puck bounces over his stick. He lost it as the Canadians clear the zone. That one trickles down the ice. Clark will chase that down. We'll have an icing call. Larry, I remember back when I was a kid, you didn't have those distractions. You came to a hockey game and you watched it and you liked it.
Yeah, you're right. You know, there's nothing else to do.
You were paying attention.
You were paying attention, and you had to.
You had to.
Didn't have the netting. Didn't have the high plexiglass.
Yeah, and you actually talked to people back then too, Larry. You actually had face-to-face communication and resolving conflict that way. The only bullying was, well, when you got beat up, I guess. There's no online. Well, I never did. I always talk my way out of that. You know me. Or
you can talk.
Yes, I can. Pal myself with some big friends, too. Now a shot up high. Dresch. Bowen makes the save. Now the Canadians with it. Maltese. Here's a chance for Rayside across the blue line. That's Smith. Nice job there by Dollywall to break that up. The Eagles really can't give up a late goal here, Larry. Dax skates it to center ice. Minute 30 to play in the second. Dax now across the blue line. Shot. Sticked aside by Bowen. Now Dax, as we have some... Looks like going to have another penalty on Rayside, Larry. Must have been behind the play. Going to be an elbowing call. So the shots now 20 apiece. Eagles are going to go on their third power play. That's the good news, Larry, but bad news is they haven't been able to do much on it so far.
They got 122 to go here, and then after 38 in the next period.
So minute 22 to play in the second period. Rob Horn also color commentating tonight on the broadcast.
On the camera, yeah.
Well, it's coming across on the broadcast,
too.
Face-off won by the Eagles.
Number 14, Brady Metalis. 2 minutes, elbowing.
So elbowing the call on Maltese. I don't know where Bob's getting Metalis. We'll go with Maltese. That's the pronunciation I was told. Now Skrella back to Clark. Eagles really could use a goal here on this power play. Now a chance for the Eagles as that's swatted down the ice by the Canadians.
You got to be taking shots.
Clark with it. Shots 20 apiece. Eagles have the last 9 shots in this contest.
There's a giveaway.
As Clark has it for the Canadians. He'll fire it down the ice. The Eagles don't score on their power play. They'll have a very brief one to start the third period. Vanderhoff across the blue line. Now Clark,
that was close.
Almost kept it in, but our linesman rules that offside with 30 seconds to play here in the second period. Coming up in our second intermission, we'll recap the scoring. We'll look around the league and around the area. Some of the scores that are going on. Sioux High is in action down in Gaylord in high school hockey. That one was 2-2 after 2 at last check. Get an update on that one in intermission. Greyhounds were down 2-1 after 2, the last one. Thunderbirds have gone way up on Elliott Lake now. Looks like they're going to win that game. Eagles potentially could be 4 points out of third place if this score holds. 15 seconds left as that one goes back to center ice. Eagles maybe will get one more chance here on the power play in the second period. Here's Price across the blue line. Price with the puck, 5 seconds. Eagles need to shoot the puck. Dresch puts a shot on, blocker save Bowen. And that's going to do it for the second period. Shots are 20 apiece. Goals are 3 to the Canadians and 1 to the Sioux Eagles after 2 periods of play. We're going to take a break and be back with our second intermission. You're watching Soo Eagles hockey on Hockey TV, and you're listening on ESPN 1400. Scott Nason back at Puller Stadium here on Hockey TV and ESPN 1400. After 2 periods of play, it's the Rayside Balfour Canadians leading the Soo Eagles by a 3-1 score. Recapping the scoring in the second period at the 43-second mark. The Canadians got on the board. Now they still have listed on the official score sheet Brady Maltese, but they switched that one to Graham Siren with assists from Mitchell Martin and Zachary Snow. 2-1 Rayside at that point. Then they would make it 3-1 at the 2:30 mark of the second period. Gavin Brown, his 15th goal of the season, with assists from Samuel Vachon and Giordano Biondi. And that's where we sit right now after 2 periods of play. The Soo Eagles trail Rayside by the score of 3-1. Shots on goal in that second period, 10-5 in favor of the Eagles, 20 apiece in this contest. Other games in the NOJHL tonight, the Sioux Thunderbirds, after 2 periods of play, leading the Elliott Lake Wildcats by the score of 6-3. So if that score holds and the Eagles can't come back and force overtime, the Eagles will be 4 points behind the Thunderbirds for third place in the West Division. Out east, it's Hearst leading French River 3-2 halfway through the third period, and Kirkland Lake now leading Cochrane by the score of 3-1. Over on Rock 101 locally here in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, it's Mississauga leading the Sioux Greyhounds by a 2-1 score. That one early third period, and we have a final in Gaylord. The Gaylord Blue Devils defeat the Sioux High Blue Devils in high school hockey by the score of 6-3. Coming up later tonight over on today's hits, 99.5 Yes FM, the Lake Superior State University Laker hockey team. They're going to be in action up in Alaska, where the high today was minus 30. And we're like 35 degrees here, so that's really cold. Hopefully the Lakers will be hot on the ice as they look to take on Alaska. Looking at our broadcast schedule locally on Sovereign Communications over the weekend. Tomorrow we'll have Soo Eagles hockey right here on ESPN 1400. The Eagles will take on Elliott Lake. Larry and I will have a call starting at 6:45. You can catch that one also on Hockey TV. Sioux Greyhounds in action tomorrow night. They're not in action tomorrow night. They're in action Sunday afternoon over on Rock 101, taking on the London Knights, 1:35 with Jerry Liscombe Jr. We'll also have Laker hockey tomorrow night on Yes FM. And we'll have Detroit Red Wings hockey Sunday afternoon for those that still have any interest in the Detroit Red Wings hockey season. With the first pick in the 2020 draft, that seems to be about the most interest in that one. We're going to take a break here in our second intermission. When we come back, we'll be rejoined by Larry Pozzebon, who will give us his insight on the second period in this game, and we'll look ahead to the third period. Still 20 minutes of hockey left here at Puller Stadium. Our score, Rayside Balfour 3, the Soo Eagles 1. You're watching Soo Eagles hockey on Hockey TV, and you're listening on ESPN 1400. Back at Puller Stadium here, Scott Nason along with Larry Pozzebon, our broadcast engineer Sam Cox back in the ESPN 1400 studios, and our cameraman and FixYourStick.com guru Rob Horn here at Puller Stadium. And Poz, well, it was a good period for the Rayside Balfour Canadians. Despite just putting up 5 shots on net, they scored on their first 2, and they lead the Soo Eagles by the score of 3-1. Thoughts on the second period and this game as a whole?
Well, the Rayside started off like gangbusters, and they continued on their way. The Eagles are way down in shots. They clawed their way back, though they just couldn't finish off anything. Plus, they've had, well, they're on their third power play, and I think out of the 3 so far, they only had one shot on goal.
Yeah.
So you got to do something with your power play. I mean, that's going to be your bread and butter. If you can't score 5-on-5, you better score 5-on-4. And but to me, they don't shoot enough. That's just my personal opinion. They, take that away. I mean, they got cheated on one offside, I thought, anyways. But oh well.
Can cry over spilled milk and bad calls, right?
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Out of town scoreboard, Larry. Hearst leading French River 3-2. That one 5 minutes left in the third period. Kirkland Lake winning at Cochrane by the score of 3-1. That one with 8 minutes to play in the third, and after 2 periods of play in Elliott Lake, the Sioux Thunderbirds leading the Elliott Lake Wildcats by the score of 6-3. Sioux Greyhounds now leading Mississauga 3-2. That one has 14 minutes left in the third period, and the Soo High Blue Devils falling to Gaylord by a 6-3 count. Larry, our attendance challenge.
Here we go again.
Here we go again, indeed.
Deja vu.
Deja vu once
all
again.
Over again, yeah.
Larry, you put up a guess of what tonight?
535.
I said lower. Larry, what was our official attendance figure?
502.
502. So that means I'm up by 2, if I'm not mistaken.
9-7.
9-7. So very,
all right,
very
you
good.
can stop now.
I won't gloat too much. Want to give another Twitter shout out, Larry. We have a brand new Twitter follower. I don't have a full name. All I got is Shecky11. Says greetings from a Vanderhoff fan from New Jersey.
Okay.
So yeah, the newest Soo Eagle. And Steve-O giving me some raspberries about my Alex Trebek. Obviously, Alex is having some major health issues right now.
Yes.
And so...
But he's doing that gigantic face-off, I guess you'd call it.
Yes, and we wish him all the best.
Yeah. One guy's dominating like crazy. And there's a guy that...
Ken Jennings,
rubs it in, boy.
Ken Jennings. Yeah, the Jeopardy, the greatest Jeopardy. They're getting some big ratings, at least in the United States. I think they're in Canada, too. So all the best to Alex Trebek. There you go, Steve-O. I knew as soon as I said that, it's one of those things like, I probably shouldn't yell. It's too soon. You can. But he still sometimes can get a little snippy. But you know what? I can, too. Just ask my kids or my fiance. They'll tell you.
Just ask me.
You've been with me almost as long as my kids. In some cases, longer, I think.
Yeah, how old's the youngest one?
Actually, 11. So
he's got a year on me.
He was a little baby when we met. And boy, now he's going to be an engineer, I think. And, oh, man, that kid's sharp. So anyway, back to hockey here, Larry, as well. The Eagles have a lot of work cut out for them here. This is a good Rayside team. They only dressed 18, but... You know, you got David Bowen in net, and, he did give up that early goal that he'd like to have back, but, boy, he's a guy that just almost keeps you in every game, doesn't he?
He does, yeah, and I think they were happy to have him come back.
So here we go. Third period about to start, as the Eagles need to get a couple to tie and not give up any. So lots of time in this one. We'll see what happens here to start this third period. A lot of these goals in the game have been early in the period, so we'll keep an eye on these first few minutes of the third. Puck in the Canadian zone. Goes behind the net. Eagles with it. Branninger. Back to the point, Clark. Clark over to Scarella. Scarella moves in. Shot blocked there by Chisholm. Rebound goes to the Canadians. Now they'll clear the zone. Smith with it. Smith across the blue line. Now he loses the puck. Scarella passes it over to Vanderhoff. Now Vanderhoff across the blue line with a shot. That one blocked by Snow. Vanderhoff behind the net to Branninger. Now here's Lamberty back to Scarella. Scarella now with a shot and a save there by Bowen with 1 second left on the power play. So the Eagles didn't have a whole lot of time on the power play, but they did pretty good on that one.
Well, they got a shot, and Lamberty was there looking for a rebound, which didn't come. He was standing in front of the net, too.
19:20 to play in this third period. 3-1 Rayside. We'll be back here tomorrow night as Elliott Lake comes into town. We'll see the Wildcats a few times here over the next few weeks. Matter of fact, they'll come here 3 times starting tomorrow night.
Oh, that's a glove.
Glove pass. So that'll bring the face-off outside the zone, and that'll do it for the power play. And how about Chuck-a-Puck, Larry? 3 went in?
I believe that's what I saw. 3 of them go in there.
I don't know how they decided who won. I came close. I hit the bucket at least. I guess that's pretty good. But now those guys, the big boys over there, they got that mastered.
Yeah.
And look how many 50-50 tickets they have. I mean, geez Louise.
They come here. They come to this game. They don't watch the game. Well, they do, really. They come for
They do watch the game, because I don't see them having those yellow cups at all. They're focused on the game. They're not here for the tomfoolery by any stretch.
They're here for money and prizes.
They're here for the good times.
Yeah.
What's that song?
Let the good times roll?
Yeah, let the good times roll. That puck goes back down the ice. No icing. Brancato will stop that behind the net. Boulware has it. Shots 21-20 Eagles. It's been quite a few minutes since Rayside's had a shot. As I say that, they put it in front and get a shot. Brancato makes the save. Now that one goes back into the Canadian zone. Snow with it. Snow at his own blue line with the puck. Now he'll fire it in. Brancato stops it behind the net. On the near side boards, that's Parrott. Parrott now plays it off the boards into the Canadian zone. Arnberg, he lost the puck. Now a quick shot. That one goes wide. On the near boards, Parrott. Now here's a chance for the Eagles. Vanderhoff puts it in front, taken away by Brown. Now taken right back by the Eagles. Vanderhoff to Scarella. That one just poke-checked away from him. Price with it. Now he loses the puck. And that one will go back to center ice. Picked up by French. Now French will fire that in. Bowen will play that over. Now back to the point. Shot along the near boards. Clark has it for the Canadians. Now Clark will fire that one. Brancato, I think he saw that one late.
I thought it went off his helmet or his mask.
Helmet or stick or something. Took a wild bounce. I don't think he really saw that one till almost hit him. Did hit him. Not almost. There's no almost about it. Now Dax at center ice. That one's going to be offside as Dollywall was in just a little too early, and that'll bring the face-off outside the Canadians' blue line with 17:10 to play here in this third period. 3-1 Rayside.
I'm watching Brancato, but he's not shaking his head or checking things out, so he seems to be all right.
I think that hit his stick, Larry. It took kind of a weird bounce.
Yeah, well, that's why I thought off his side of his helmet there.
So face-off outside the Canadians' blue line.
Were they? Oh, one each.
Oh, the first penalty for the Eagles. Now Dresch with it at center ice.
Good thing they're not fishing the rapids. I saw a guy fishing there tonight.
Crazy. What are you doing out there?
Oh, yeah, he was past the berm wall over there.
Just go buy a fish. I mean, jeez, that's a lot of work.
Oh, this is icing.
One shot down the ice. That'll be an icing call. Still waiting for the coincidental minor penalty calls. Bob a little slow down there tonight.
I think he's aging.
Well, there's no thinking about that. He definitely is doing.
He's got some lady down there right now handing him a note. Meet you after.
Pretty safe to say that's not it, Ed. Or Larry. Ed.
Canadian penalty, number 15.
Yeah.
Here's a chance for the Canadians. A shot. Brancato save.
2 minutes roughing to the Soo Eagles. To number 13, Praveen.
He's asking
Dollywall.
He asked him how to pronounce it.
Roughing.
He should do that all the time. He get the penalties right. Be tough on the goal calls, though. How do you pronounce it? That's fantastic.
Stop it.
I know.
I know, I'm laughing.
It's so easy.
You got to stop it so I can stop.
I know. Back to action here, Larry. As the puck in the Canadian zone, Bumbacco has it. Now Smoody at the point. He fires, and a save by Bowen, and he'll hold. And you know, with the re-addition, Larry, of David Bowen and the addition of some new players for Blind River, this is going to be a very interesting fight to the finish for first place. I mean, not out of reach for the Eagles and Thunderbirds, but it's really setting up that Rayside and Blind River are going to fight for that 1-2.
You're right, yeah.
The Thunderbirds and Eagles 3-4. I mean, we've seen both teams now a lot, Larry. Rayside and Blind River. I mean, who would you say is the better team?
Well, I'm going to take Rayside right now.
With Bowen?
Yeah.
I agree. I think he's that X factor, and now we're going to have a big hit there. No penalty as the Rayside player down. He's still down. Eagles with it, 2-on-1. Here's a chance, a shot. Save Bowen. Rebound goes to Scarella. Now the Rayside player is still trying to get up.
Well, they're waiting for the... Here we go. We're going to have a little fight
now
down
Boulware now squaring off against the Rayside player. He lost his stick, but doesn't look like there. And, well, it looks like the Canadians player a little woozy coming up. That's Samuel Vachon. And the trainer out there, boy, he's really woozy, Larry.
Yeah.
And he was down for a while, but again, the Eagles had a chance, and now he's down again.
Well, you know, the referee was standing right there, and he didn't make a call on it. He thought it was good. I thought it was good. It was a heavy hit.
I think they're going to be coincidental minors on this one, Larry. Yeah. Boulware and Siren going to the box. And so
Vachon still play 5-on-5.
Well, I don't think there is any doubt that he definitely got knocked around there, and it looks like it might be an extra 2 on the Eagles, Larry.
Oh.
So maybe they're Boulware. They're going to give him the extra 2.
Well, who hit him? Was it Boulware?
I didn't see it. It was
well,
late.
That's what I say. How do we we'll have to wait for Bob.
Good luck there.
What about Bob?
Yeah, what about Bob?
Yeah.
So that'll bring the face-off back in the Eagles zone. So the Canadians
Wood's
look like
going
they're
in the box.
Yep, they're going to go on their first power play.
I don't know. Somebody rewind it back home and let us know who hit him.
My guess is they're going to give the extra 2 after the play. I don't think that it's pretty late
probably.
to change the call.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he was laying there for a while and nothing was called.
And no hands are up, so
right.
How do you give a penalty? So he's going to, no, the Eagles say, well, straighten me out on this. How are you calling that?
Alex Saruk now trying to get clarification. Well, with JT Henke over there. And we talked about the calm, cool, collected Timmins Rock coaching staff, Larry. This is the Western version of this over to our right. The Cuomos, I'll tell you what, you never see them get upset about really anything. They're as calm as can be behind that bench, at least that we can see. Maybe they go nuts in the dressing room, I don't know.
Or at the practices.
Yeah.
The number 3, Richard Boulware. 2 minutes roughing, 2 minutes unsportsmanlike
They're
conduct.
going to give the extra 2 to
The time of the
Boulware.
penalty, 15-34.
Hatanaka in, pass, Brown shot, goal!
Back door again.
4-1 Rayside, and boy, that one could be the backbreaker in this one, Larry, with David Bowen in net. Another beautiful setup, and another goal for the Rayside Balfour Canadians. They lead 4-1. Quick power play goal, 15-19 to play here in the third period, and that quiets this crowd a lot.
Yeah. Backdoor. See, Eagles got to learn to do that.
Yeah,
Look
boy, you see a lot of visiting teams do that, don't they? I mean, it seems like a lot of their goals are scored like that, Larry, and we haven't seen many that the Eagles have scored like that.
I saw one that I can recall. One.
Yeah, it hasn't been a lot of them, so looks to be Rayside's night. It is so far. They lead 4-1. We'll get the rest of the penalty call and then the goal call here in
Canadian goal, a power play goal scored by number 23, Gavin Brown.
So Brown's second of the
Assist,
night.
Number 74, Ben Hanataka. And number 61, Nick DeGrazia. Time of that power play.
So DeGrazia and Hatanaka with the assist, 4-1 Rayside. Now Bice with the puck. He loses it. Puck goes behind the net. Picked up by Maltese. Now the Eagles, Dax, look out. I thought that was going to go out of play. Stays in. Goes behind the net. 14:40 to play in the third period. Rayside with a 4-1 lead over the Soo Eagles. Eagles lose this game. They'll be 3-3 on the homestand with 3 to play. Chance in front. Puck still loose. Canadians come up with it. Now the Eagles get it. Dresch with the shot. Bowen with the easy save, and he'll hold. Tune in Monday nights, 6 o'clock on ESPN 1400 and online at thegamesportshow.com for Sault Ste. Marie's only local, regional, and national sports show, The Game. We'll have another edition Monday night. We feature a lot of the NOJHL, including the Soo Eagles, the Soo Thunderbirds, and the league as a whole. We also talk other local sports, high school, college, regional, and national sports. Some big NFL playoff games this weekend. Got the NCAA National Championship football game Monday. Now here's McLaughlin with a shot, and Bowen with the save, and he'll hold. Again, the game Monday nights on ESPN 1400.
That was a bouncing puck. He had nothing to do with it, but Bowen come out. He didn't have much in net to shoot at.
Shots 26-23 Eagles here in the third period, but where it counts, it's 4-1 Rayside. Puck over in the far corner. Chisholm, now he loses it. French with the shot. That one blocked. Here's a breakaway. Canadians in. Hatanaka with the shot. Oh, what a sneaky move there. Really? He scores. Hatanaka looked like he was going to go for a shot and just kind of flicked it to the left and past Shane Brancato. And 5-1 now in favor of Rayside as they're running away with this one. I tell you, I like that Hatanaka. He's a smooth player out there, Larry. Does a lot away from the puck, and, well, he did a lot with the puck on that one. And it's 5-1 Rayside.
They're running away with it.
Yeah, they are. We haven't seen a lot of these games like this, Larry. We mentioned we haven't seen any games like this between these two squads, because every game up until this one had been a one-goal game.
74, Ben Hadanaka.
Yeah, you got it right.
Time in the goal, 13:58.
So they don't give an assist on that one, which is kind of odd because the pass went right to Hadanaka. Maybe they'll add one, as that'll be an icing. And so it looks like Eagles are going to be 4 points out of third place, Larry, in the West Division. The Thunderbirds are winning at Elliott Lake, as you would expect, now by the score of 8-3.
Scarella was complaining about the icing call. The linesman blew the icing in there and said, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
So they're going to center ice with this one, which is the proper place to do it.
Face-off won by the Eagles. Now here's the Canadians with it. Bertrand will fire that into the far corner. Clark over on the near boards. Now Bertrand has it. Now broken up there by the Eagles. Here's a chance for Vanderhoff. Vanderhoff in the near corner. Nice pass to Price. Price's shot saved Bowen. Rebound. Price goes behind the net. Now Clark picks it up for the Canadians. Over the far boards. Now on the near side, Smith with it. Smith across the blue line. Smith tried to drop it for Brown. Pass out of his reach. Now over the far boards, Clark. Clark will fire that one down the ice as Bowen will let that one go by. No icing. Scarella behind the Canadians' net. Now Scarella picks up the puck, centering chance. Clark in, shot, misses the net. Over to Scarella, shot, and a goal! Dominic Scarella gets one back for the Eagles. But they still trail by the score of 5-2 with 12:36 to play in the third period as David Bowen putting his hands out in the air. I don't know if thought maybe somebody interfered with him, but it won't matter. Scarella gets one for the Eagles. They trail 5-2. 12:36 to play in the third.
Should be a couple assists on that goal. Clark should get one anyways.
So the Eagles aren't going down without a fight.
Yeah.
They get one back. They need three more. They trail 5-2.
Eagle goal scored by number 21, Dominic Scarella. Assist, number 28, Nolan Dresch. The time of the goal, 12:36.
They give the assist to Dresch.
Okay.
I can't figure these goals and assists out either, Larry. Now puck behind the Eagles' net. Shots 29-24 Eagles. They trail by 3. Puck on the near boards. Dresch will clear that one to center ice. Picked up by Chisholm. Puck still at center ice. Brandinger gets knocked down. Canadians almost get caught with too many men on the ice. Puck at center ice. Eagles have it. Boulware at his own blue line. Up to Wood, who will chip it in. Bowen out of his net. Now Hadanaka has it. Benjamin Hadanaka, who scored the 5th goal for the Canadians. Drops it for DeGrazia. Now Hadanaka to DeGrazia in. Shot. Save Brancato. Puck goes behind the net. Now Boulware has it. Boulware gets it up to Brandinger. Brandinger at center ice. He'll flip it in. Eagles go for a line change. Puck taken by Amberg. Now the Eagles break that up. Dollywall's shot. That misses the net. Goes over the near boards. Canadians can't clear it. Dollywall with it. Now Dax. Trying to get it back to the point. Taken away by Belanger. And DeGrazia will skate it in. Avoid the hit. Eagles with it. Clark. Over to Dax. Now Dax. Trying to get it back to Clark. He does. Clark gets knocked off the puck. Clark and Dax over in the near corner. Dax comes up with it. Canadians get it out of the zone. Brown skates it to center ice for the Canadians. 10:30 to play in the third period. Rayside with a 5-2 lead. Puck in the near corner, picked up by Dollywall. Now Bice at the blue line. He lost the puck. Dollywall gets it back. Canadians trying to clog up that neutral zone. They have it in their own zone. Snow skates it across his own blue line. Now Snow at center ice. He'll just flip the puck into the Eagles zone. Parrott over the far board, Scarella. Picked up by Dresch. Now the Canadians with it. Back to the point, Bertrand. Smith gets knocked around. Now here's Vanderhoff for the Eagles. Vanderhoff across the blue line. He loses the puck. Shot Scarella. That didn't miss by much. It goes all the way back into the Eagles zone. 9:30 to play in this third period. Eagles trail by 3. As that puck goes back in the Rayside zone. Rink wide pass to Martin. Now Martin, he gets hooked, and that's going to be a penalty.
Yep.
As Rayside, already 1 for 1 on the power play, will go right back on it with 9:22 to play in the third period.
Calls holding. It's a tripping call. Tripped over his stick. Okay.
I don't know how that's a hold, Larry. That's certainly looked like a trip, but either way.
Yeah, I know. At least he caught. He made a penalty call.
2 minutes is 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So Eagles going to try to kill off this power play and then hope for something. Time's starting to become a factor. 9:22 to play.
Number 19, Bryce French. 2 minutes, holding.
So holding / tripping the call on French. Canadians on their second power play. They're 1 for 1. Eagles 0 for 3. DeGrazia across the blue line. Over to Belanger. Now the Eagles will clear that out of the zone. Brown. In his own zone, now behind the net. Lamberty at center ice. Breaks it up momentarily. Parrott will fire that down the ice.
Good penalty killing by Lamberty and Bumbaco, you know. Two small guys out there that are throwing their weight around, being pests.
Minute left on the Canadians' power play. Rayside with it, Martin across his own blue line. Now skates it across the Eagles' blue line. Martin to Smith. Smith back to the point. Amberg, his shots. Goes wide. Rebound. Brancato sticks it aside. Now Dax, good job to fire that one down the ice on the backhand.
Who was that yelling? Oh.
Puck behind the Rayside net. Seemed to be in no hurry on this power play. I think they're pretty content just to kill the 2 minutes. Chisholm up to Martin. Martin across the blue line. Broken up by Smoody. And that one shot down the ice. And he'll do it for the power play as Bowen has it in his own zone.
Eagles out shooting Canadians in this period also. And they just... Canadians outscoring them.
Well, Eagles back to full strength. Canadians with the puck. Over to Martin, his shot. Brancato makes the save, and we should get the media timeout, Larry, with 7:12 to play in this third period. 5-2 in favor of the Rayside Balfour Canadians.
Yeah, this referee put his whistle away. Sometimes in some games you like them to put their whistle away. Now he's putting his whistle away for the timeout.
So in this period, Larry, Gavin Brown with his 16th of the season at the 4:41 mark on the power play to make it 4-1. Hatanaka and DeGrazia with the assist, and then 5-1 Rayside with Hatanaka's 5th of the season at the 6:02 mark. Then Dominic Skrella, his 19th of the season at the 7:24 mark. They did give the assist to Nolan Dresch, but I think they should give that one to Hayden Clark. And it's 5-2 out of town. Larry, let's get an update on some of the other scores.
Okay.
Thunderbirds, they're going to win. They lead Elliott Lake 8-3 halfway through the third period. So the Eagles likely 4 points out of third after this one. Kirkland Lake final wins in Cochrane 5-1. And how about this one? French River comes back and defeats Hearst in overtime.
Wow.
By the score of 4-3. So both teams, Larry, in the East, chasing that 5th playoff spot. They both win tonight.
First beat the last.
Yeah?
Or the last beat the first.
Hearst is in third.
Oh, third. Oh.
They're up there. But again, these teams, these bottom teams, you just can't come into the rink and expect that, okay, they're, French River 9-23. Oh, this is a victory. Doesn't work that way in this league. Rayside Balfour 7 minutes away from a likely victory here. as they lead by the score of 5-2. Now puck back in the Canadian zone. Bowen out of his net. David Bowen has been one goaltender that's been tough to beat for any team, especially the Soo Eagles. Bowen has really owned the Eagles for the past year or so.
Yeah, he definitely has.
Yeah. Ooh. Now puck still in the Rayside end. The Canadians clear the zone. French at center ice. Skates the puck in his zone. Over to Clark. Clark with the puck. He'll fire it in. Behind the net. Bowen stops it. Now Christopher Clark for the Canadians. With it. Center ice. Chipped in the zone as Brancato will hold on to that one.
That's an easy
Biani
save.
was on him. Ontario Hockey League Larry. Sioux Greyhounds in action. Would look to get a score here, taking on the Mississauga Steelheads, the artists formerly known as the Ice Dogs.
Don Cherry's team.
That's right, and it looks like the Hounds have won by the score of 4-2. So a nice victory for the Hounds. They'll take on Dale Hunter and the dreaded London Knights Sunday afternoon. Now a shot that goes off the post, right behind Brancato. Eagles clear the zone. Chisholm over in the far boards. Firing it in. Bowen stops that one to Snow. 5:40 to play. Canadians with the victory here will tie Blind River, who are idle tonight, for first place in the West. The Beavers will have a game in hand. Look at some of the games going on tomorrow night. Eagles again in action. Will take on Elliott Lake here at Puller Stadium as with an icing call and the face-off back in the Eagles end. Looking at the other games tomorrow night, Larry Hurst is at Blind River. That a nice matchup, East versus West. How about this for a nice matchup, Larry? Timmins at Powassan.
Okay.
Two best teams in the East. And then this one here, Elliott Lake will take on the Soo Eagles.
So Rayside's just going right back home.
I think so, yep. No need to stay over. They'll go 17 East, I believe, Larry?
Yes.
Not a whole lot of routes that way, are there?
No.
You're not going to hit the turnpike anytime soon. Big storm coming in south of us. It may graze us here in the eastern upper peninsula. Now here's a chance for Rayside. They clear the zone. Martin across the blue line. He's got Smith Martin. Nice job there by the Eagles to break that up. That was Smoody. Smoody in the far corner. Under 5 to play in the third. Eagles can't clear it. Still time in this one, but time is starting to become a precious commodity as we're going to have a interference call on Rayside. So the Eagles now, they can get maybe one on this power play, then you start to think maybe they got a chance, but you almost have to score right now.
Yeah, they do, yeah. It's odds are against them.
4:41 to play in the third period. Eagles go on their fourth power play, trailing by a 5-2 count. Lamberty, Branninger, and the newest Sioux Eagle, number 16, Eric Vanderhoff, out there for the Eagles, along with Skrella and Clark. Skrella gets the puck at the point. So Smith gets the interference call for Rayside Balfour as the Canadians shoot it down the ice. Clark with it behind his own net. Coming up in our post-game show, for those on the radio, we'll have our Larry Pozzebon at 3 stars of the night. Start calling the post-game show Paz's Corner.
No.
Just don't start talking about red, whatever they're called. Poppies, there we go. That got another Coach's Corner participant in trouble. One Don Cherry, if you can recall.
Oh.
Yeah, Skrella.
Oh.
Yeah, don't go down that road, please, Larry. Now here's Skrella. He gets knocked down as the Canadians fire that one back down the ice. Has not been the Eagles' night as of yet.
Definitely not.
They got the first goal in this one, but Rayside struck back, was 1-1 after one with those two early second period goals, Larry. Really the difference in this one. Gave the Canadians the momentum, and you give David Bowen a 5-1 lead. It's not going to happen
out for the other team.
Yeah, it really is. Now Dresch with it. Dresch over to Price. Price with a shot, and a save there by Bowen. Larry, of all the times we've seen David Bowen, I don't think we've ever seen him have a bad night. Maybe a mediocre night, but that hasn't happened much either.
A bad goal like the first one. Outside of that, no. He's too good.
Yep, he is. 3:17 to play in the third period. 37 seconds to play on the power play. French now with the puck. Eagles still time to score on this power play. Dresch over to French with a quick shot. That misses the net. Goes all the way down the ice. Dresch with it.
Excuse me. French and Scarella had the same opportunity there. Both of them missed the net. Good setup, but they both missed the net.
Price
Here
gets
comes another
knocked down.
one.
It's going to be a penalty.
Let them touch it. Let them touch it. That's it. You want 5-on-3.
So a chance for the Eagles, a 5-on-3, and you really roll the dice and pull the goalie here, Larry. Make it a 6-on-3.
That's good because the faceoff goes deep in their zone.
Yeah. This point, what do you got to lose?
Yeah, get a timeout and have a little discussion.
Brancato looks to have stayed in the net. So the Eagles will have a 5-on-3. They're going to get a timeout. Yeah. So looking at the schedule for the rest of January, Larry, while we have a timeout, again, the Eagles will be here tomorrow night taking on Elliott Lake. We'll have the call on Hockey TV and ESPN 1400, starting with the pregame show at 6:45. And then for the first time since mid-December, the Eagles will go on the road. They'll travel to Elliott Lake on Friday. Next week, and they'll be at home. They'll be home to the Sioux Thunderbirds a week from tonight, January 17th. They'll also be at home to Elliott Lake on the 18th, and then finally go on the road the 24th and 25th at Elliott Lake, and then at the Sioux Thunderbirds. And they will end the month of January at home against the Espanola Express. And then you look ahead to February, Larry. Eagles have 9 games, 5 of those at home. So the schedule, very favorable, but got to win those games.
You have to win them, you're right, yeah.
Will be in that situation tomorrow where Elliott Lake comes in, a team that's 5 and now will be 5-32. Team that last time when they came in, Larry, the Eagles had 83 shots.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Remember that one.
Wow, yeah.
So, but again, you got to win
they
those
pull
games.
Them. Brancato's pulled.
All right, so here we go, a 6-on-3. You don't see that very often. Only for 10 seconds. Eagles, maybe a chance to get one and make this interesting.
They got to make this face-off done right there.
They win the face-off, back to the point, French. Now French with
shooting.
it.
You got to be shooting.
French with the shot. Bowen save, rebound, puck loose. Brandon and a goal! And that penalty just expired, Larry. Otherwise, the Eagles would have another power play.
Yeah, they're both going.
Yeah, and I mean, literally, that second just ticked off as that puck went in. But the Eagles will take it. It's now 5-3 with 2:41 to play. So obviously now you put Brancato back in net, and then you start thinking about pulling him maybe with under 2 minutes to play. And so Branninger is going to get his second goal of the night. And this one now, they're keeping the penalty up, but they don't have the player in the box. They're going to have to take that off. Unless they're saying there was 1 second left on the penalty. Wait, hold on here. No, they did take the penalty off the board, so I thought that just expired as that puck went in.
I didn't see any numbers up there.
Okay. So it's 5-3 as they're having some conversations as to when that goal went in. It was close either way.
Yeah.
But after they scored, looked up to the score clock, and there was only 1 penalty on there. So it looks like both penalties will have expired. As the Eagles coaching staff, of course, pleading. They're saying there was still a second left on that other penalty.
Yeah, they would like to have that.
I guess you got to look at what's on the clock and when that penalty started, Larry. I don't know if I can look
There was 10 seconds when that started.
Well, I mean, when the actual penalty started itself, like what the time on the, you know what I mean? When the penalty occurred. And this is, of course, when my app freezes up. Why wouldn't it? Well, it's all going to be a moot point now.
Puck was in the net, man.
It's Alex Saruk now, not really happy with this one. I'm going to look real quick, Larry, to see what time the penalty happened. So was that the first penalty, Larry, was at the 15-19 mark. So I really can't do that math. That's way too much math.
15, Joel Brandinger. Assist number 24.
Empty net goal for the
Lamberty.
Canadians.
Number 19, Bryce French.
Lamberty and French get the assist, as that was a quick empty net goal. I don't know about that, Larry. I don't know if face off at center ice, you're down 2 with 2.5.
Yeah.
Might be a little early to pull the goalie, in my opinion, but I'm not coaching. I'm just broadcasting, and that should salt it away for the Canadians. They lead by the score of 6-3. So that goal went to Branninger with assists from Lamberty and French.
Right.
Now we'll get the Rayside goal at 6-3. Puck at center ice. Bice has it for the Eagles. Now Bice across the blue line. Bice with a centering chance, just out of the reach of Boulware, picked up by Martin. 2:10 to play, so the Canadians will pull into a first-place tie with the Blind River Beavers in the West. The Eagles will be 4 points behind the Sioux Thunderbirds for third place in the West. Puck flipped to center ice. Dollywall over in front of his own bench. Gets it into the Canadian zone. Still waiting for that empty net goal for Rayside. Never did see who shot it because it happened so fast. Puck along the near boards. So Rayside will win the season series by a 5-3 count. And the next time these teams meet, look out as that puck gets deflected into the Eagles bench. So the next time these teams meet, Larry, if they do, will be in the postseason.
Yeah.
They met last season in the Western semifinals with Rayside taking a 6-game series. The Canadians won the first 3 games. Eagles battled back, won the next 2, but they would fall in game 6. He's going to face off outside the Eagles' blue line. Canadians win the draw. They have the puck in their own zone.
Up in your head.
Empty net goal
I do.
for the number 22, Oliver Smith.
There's not much else up there.
Assist number 9,
Sports
Zachary
stats.
Snow. And number 23, Gavin Brown.
So Smith
the time of that empty net goal,
gets the goal
2:31.
from Smith and Brown. A lot of music knowledge too, Larry.
Yeah.
Minute 15 to play. Smoody, the near corner. So the Eagles will look to rebound tomorrow night, taking on Elliott Lake. Thunderbirds idle tomorrow night. Now here's a chance for the Canadians. That out of the reach of DeGrazia, and that'll be an icing call. So this Canadians team back with their star netminder in net, David Bowen. And the Blind River team loading up. This is going to be a very interesting West Division. Still lots to shake out. The Eagles will have their chances to make up some points playing against the teams behind them in the standings for a majority of the rest of the season. But again, they're going to have to still win those games. And it's been Rayside's night here tonight. Canadians win the face-off. Under a minute to play. For our viewers on Hockey TV, we will bid you adieu here as regulation expires. We'll talk to you tomorrow as the Eagles will take on Rayside Balfour. For those on ESPN 1400, stay tuned for our post-game show and Larry Pozzebon's 3 stars. Now Parrott with the shot blocker, save Bowen. 35 seconds left as the Canadians clear it down the ice, and we'll have another icing.
Interesting that he iced the puck on that. If you want a line change, you can't get a line change.
So face off back in the Canadian zone. And we already have a couple finals in the NOJHL. Thunderbirds now a final win at Elliott Lake 11-3. French River overtime over Hearst 4-3, and Kirkland Lake defeating Cochrane by a 5-1 count. 20 seconds to play. Hayden Clark with the puck in his zone. So the Rayside Balfour Canadians will win the season series over the Soo Eagles 5-3. They've all been close except this one. 10 seconds left. Bowen just going to throw that aside, try to run out the clock. As the clock ticks down and the horn will sound. Our final score, Rayside Balfour 6, the Soo Eagles 3. For those viewers on Hockey TV, we wish you good night. And we'll talk to you tomorrow here at Puller Stadium. For those on ESPN 1400, stay tuned for the post-game show. You're listening to Soo Eagles Hockey on ESPN 1400.
Good night, folks.
Back at Puller Stadium, Scott Nason along with Larry Pozzebon. Our final score, the Soo Eagles fall to the Rayside Balfour Canadians by a 6-3 count. Before we get to Larry's 3 stars of the night and his comments, let's recap the scoring in this one. The Eagles got on the board first at the 4:59 mark. Joel Branninger with his 11th goal of the season to make it 1-0 Eagles. Oliver Smith would counter for the Canadians at the 6:13 mark of the first period, his 19th of the year, with assists from Mitchell Martin and Brady Maltese. It was 1-1 after one. Then the Canadians would strike for 2 quick goals in the second period. Graham Siren his third at the 43-second mark, with assists from Mitchell Martin and Zachary Snow to make it 2-1 Rayside. Gavin Brown would make it 3-1 Rayside at the 2:30 mark of the second period, his 15th of the year. Samuel Vachon and Giordano Biondi with the assist. It was 3-1 Rayside after 2. They would score the first 2 goals of the third period. Brown, his second of the night, 16th of the season, at the 4:41 mark of the third, with assists from Benjamin Hatanaka and Nicholas DeGrazia on the power play. Hatanaka would score at the 6:02 mark of the third, his 5th of the year, to make it 5-1. Eagles would get a couple goals back. Dominic Skrella, his 19th of the season, at the 7:24 mark, with an assist from Hayden Clark. They did change that to Clark, as we thought. Then the Eagles would make it 5-3 Canadians, as Joel Branninger, his 12th of the season, on the power play, with assists from Jake Lamberty and Bryce French. Eagles decided to keep their goaltender pulled, and Oliver Smith would score an empty net goal at the 17:29 mark, his 20th of the season, with assists from Zachary Snow and Gavin Brown. Shots on goal, well, we never did get a final total.
Final total, yeah, 34 against 34 for the Eagles and 30 for Rayside.
Thank you, Larry. With the win, the Rayside Balfour Canadians improved to 26-10-3-1. They are now tied for first with the Blind River Beavers. With the loss, the Eagles fall to 21-17-1-2, now 4 points behind the Sioux Thunderbirds, who won tonight by the score of 11-3 over Elliott Lake. 2 other finals, French River in overtime over Hearst 4-3. Cochrane falls to Kirkland Lake 5-1. Sioux Greyhounds win over Mississauga 4-2, and the Soo High Blue Devils fall to Gaylord by a 6-3 count. Lake Superior State University Lakers in action later on tonight over on Yes FM, taking on Alaska. Larry, your thoughts on this one, a 6-3 Rayside victory, and then your 3 stars, please, sir.
Well, Rayside, they're a good team, and they showed it again tonight with the help of David Bowen in net there. Eagles, I mean, they outshot the Canadians 34-30, but they didn't get too many good quality shots on goal. The shots were from a distance or ones that Bowen could see and had no problem with. Eagles, their power play, it needs improvement. Like I said, if you're 5-on-4, if you're not going to be scoring 5-on-4, you better score 5-on-5. You better score 5-on-4 then, because that's going to help you win games. So far, the Eagles had a number of power play opportunities, didn't do anything with them at all. They got the last goal. The last one was a power play goal, and that was whether it was on 5-on-3 or 5-on-4. Time, nobody knows what the time was anyways. If they want to be in third spot, the Eagles really going to have to work hard to do that. Now, forget this game. Get it out of your system. You got a game tomorrow night. There's the one where you got to think about, and that's the one that counts tomorrow night. This one's done. You can't do anything about it. They're not going to change the score. They're not going to give you 2 points. So the Eagles do have to play better. They do have to play better. 3 stars. I'm giving the first 2 to Rayside. Number 23, Mr. Brown. He got 2 goals and 1 assist, and one of his goals was a winning goal, so it was the 4th goal. And the second star, number 74, Hatanaka. He had a goal and assist. He played good all night long. 3rd star, we're going to give it to the Eagles, to Branninger, number 15. He deserved it. I want to get into something else here now.
Go for it.
I really don't like jumping all over them all the time, and I'm not really going to jump on the officials. I'm going to mention a few things. Now they've learned to take their name off the back of their jerseys, so they won't be recognized, and people can't yell at so-and-so.
We need to do that.
So-and-so, you're you know what? They missed a penalty shot call. They called it an offside. My opinion, I was watching it, and I've officiated, and that one I thought was onside. Then the referee, one of them, just watched there 8 feet away and watched goaltender interference. An elbow hit Brannigan, and he doesn't call a penalty, and yet when the puck goes down the ice towards the Rayside goal, he goes up to Brannigan and asks him how he's doing, if he's all okay. Well, if you're going to ask the guy if he's okay, then you must have saw what happened. You know, you got to start putting that whistle to your mouth and not put it in your pocket at times. And they got to start getting perfect, because right now they're not, and they did improve, and besides, these are not the same 2 guys that refereed last week. Thank God, because those guys were terrible last week. And they got to take their names off their sweaters, the ones that had them last week. These guys are smart enough. They've taken their names off their jerseys and said, listen, I get enough hassle without being known by my name.